Welcome back to episode 274 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast. My name is Josh. I'm here with the one, the only Baba Louie and Phil from Ottawa.
It's your friendly neighborhood hockey-loving goofballs. Welcome to the Gong Show.
What up, boys? How's it going?
What up?
What's up? I love that intro. Big fan of that.
Yeah, I love. What are those, like tom-toms or what are those called? I'm not really musical.
Some type of percussion type of instrument. Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
That works for me.
Tum-tums? I don't know. Tum-tums?
Tom-toms? No.
No,
that
no.
wouldn't be it.
A little indigestion.
Yeah. Louis, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing good. You've been on like what, a 14-hour, 15-hour social media blackout because you haven't watched the F1 race yet, right?
Correct. Still waiting.
I know one.
That's great.
I could be an a-hole and say it, but I won't.
But you won't.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, eh? So like social media will ruin it for you?
Yeah, I gotta stay
turn
up.
left.
I
Or
gotta
is that
stay-
NASCAR?
No, that's NASCAR. Ugh.
Okay.
Who's your guy again?
George Russell or Lando Norris.
Oh, okay.
How do you determine who your favorite driver is? Like you like the way they hold the steering wheel, or like you like the way they brake around the left turns, or like what makes one driver stand out from the other one?
Wow.
I'm not. I don't know. I don't get the allure.
You can say the same about a hockey player. You like the way Brady Tkachuk holds his stick?
I think he
His
holds his stick
structure.
very, very handsomely, and I admire it. Yeah, I wish I held my stick like Brady did.
Oh God.
What about you, Phil? You have a hot date with the new Snookums this weekend, or you guys cuddle, get some cake, hold hairy hands? What did you do?
Well, my hairy hands were definitely held. I've been
Nice.
very good. The winter of fat Phil's done, so I haven't had cake in a few weeks. I have to. My rule is if I get an extra notch on my belt, that's time to stop. And
Okay.
yeah. So no, it was great. She stayed over last night. We watched the Leafs Sens game. Well, I did. She, I don't know, did other things. And then we went to bed, snuggled, woke up, went to breakfast, and here I am now. So
All right.
Yeah.
Here you are.
great weekend, nice and relaxing.
Your team is doing well, hey?
A little bit.
Are you
Little
Are you starting to get like nervous? Like it's like false hope? Is that coming a little bit now?
Yeah, I am a bit of a contrarian, if you guys haven't noticed. So there's still lots of hockey to play, but we're trending in an excellent direction. Boys are firing in all cylinders, and it was a big win last night. Big win. Big 2 points.
Good one.
Not our team. Our team sucks.
Yeah, you guys aren't doing good.
No.
Our team's unwatchable right now without Kaprizov.
Oh, really? That bad?
Yeah. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, it's bad.
Not even your
I
brother?
try to watch and I make like
Oh.
3 minutes and I'm just like, I can't. I just, my wife looks at me weird and I like really emphatically try to change the channel.
More?
Yeah. Like somehow that's going to make it go faster.
Right.
Yeah. It's,
What about Rossi, Faber? No.
Well, Faber is always good, but he's not going to like, he's kind of like your rock solid defenseman that doesn't put pucks in the net.
Yeah, it's not as exciting. Well, I mean, look at Buffalo. They're stacked, and they're the worst team to watch in the whole NHL, right? So, or they were
It's
stacked.
the whole Matt Boldy thing, right? You look at the stats and you're like, oh, he's doing pretty good. It's like,
Yeah. Team
He's,
game. It's a team game. It's not golf.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, well, golf has a caddy. Aren't they important, Josh?
We don't have caddies.
Paid for my college.
Oh yeah, Josh, you were a caddy, eh? Like a real caddy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No golf carts. You got to walk it, eh?
You gotta have a caddy. With the winds.
Well, there is a type of caddy that we would call it a runner, or some people call it a four caddy. That with guys with carts, it's usually one per foursome versus one per bag or twosome. But yeah,
I like walking it. It feels more. I like
good
walking
exercise.
it, to be honest. Why exercise?
A lot of the old traditional courses insist on walking. They want it to be exercise, not just sit and pound cocktails in your golf cart.
So
Yeah.
you were just a bag itch. What as a caddy? You weren't standing up there second shot saying, "Okay, Bubba, it's 230 to the hole.
Oh, yeah.
The wind's
Oh, yeah.
blowing
No,
in
yeah.
at 10. You should probably drop down to your 3 and not your 4 at this one.
Caddies do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
So are you a good golfer? You must be a good golfer.
No.
What? Then how are you caddying?
That's why he's caddying.
It's a different skill. No, I caddied from a lot, pretty intensively from 11 years old to 22. And when I was in college, I was the caddy master at Hazeltine National Golf Club. Yeah, which is a very weird title in today's context, but that's what it's called.
Are you
where the PGA Championship and US Open were? And that was a 6-day a week or 7-day a week because they had events on Monday job and just not a lot of time and not a lot of desire. I mean, it was kind of when the golf course is your work. I just wasn't that into it. I'm not a very good golfer, but
like I do landscaping and I don't cut my grass at home.
Now you garden for fun?
No, absolutely not. River Rock. That's it. Cover it all up.
Got to give a special shout out to my daughter.
Yeah.
She is quite the trooper. She had surgery on Friday, so just had was an emergency. It was like a planned thing to help the face area was nose issues and throat issues, getting sick a lot, having a hard time breathing, staying asleep, and she's pretty miserable. It's not a fun surgery, I'll tell you that. And she's been quite the trooper. 2 days now, 48 hours after, still a little doped up, but she's recovering well. So I wish her a speedy recovery. It's no fun to see her kid.
No.
I kept telling her it's like and I'm sure you guys would do the same in my situation, but as I said, if I could trade places with you, I would in a heartbeat. So shout out, maybe she'll listen. Sometimes she listens.
Really get better, Ava. You got this. Sending positive vibes and energy from Canada.
Did she is she sleeping or did she get up and watch the Chelsea game this morning?
Well, if she's watching this,
I don't know. I don't know. She's watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy. I don't know if she's into the whole, but she's pretty out of it. So
should she be watching that right now? Shouldn't she be watching like Friends or something? Seinfeld? I don't know.
Well, I think that part of the appeal of Grey's Anatomy, right? And I'm not a fan per se, is it's like 20 seasons long. So if like you have to be in bed for a straight week, it's probably a pretty good show to binge.
Yeah.
Given that there's endless episodes to watch. But Phil, you had a really great Friday night with Phil. Well, after you got back from the hospital, I was tuned in to that. So why don't you fill everyone in on what happened? And I know you're going to start with the only reason why I keep doing this is because I love how you start every time with, well, it was kind of boring.
It was great.
You're the worst pitch man for your own content.
Yeah, I know. Because I believe in the empowerment of the good listener. If they want to watch, they can. If they want to listen, they can. If they don't want to, that's fine. Okay. So, but Friday was great. We had Maxime on. He likes to be called Max. Funny story. I thought Max was somebody else at the beginning. I got two Frenchmen confused, and oh god, but it worked out great. Max was fantastic. He's a huge set collector. Demographics similar our age. And it was just a great conversation. He very passionate. I had Sylvain on and California Dave. Our boys. And so Dave will be coming on a lot more as well. Sylvain will be popping in when he can. Friday nights are going very, very well. It's turning into exactly what I wanted. A collector show for collectors. It's not going to be great for clicks and views, but hey, like it's got the longest legs possible because that's what I have been for 30 years as a collector. I haven't gone anywhere. So we're here to stay the longest and have lots of fun. I also not blackmail. I'm buying love when I give away a box from out of the box cards. Yeah, so that's little hustling there. Lots of fun. Yeah, I do miss doing. Pardon me.
How'd your box go?
Oh, it was crap. Yeah, nothing.
Did you
good.
like
What'd you think of them
more than you thought you would? Like how did opening a box change your perception of it?
Okay, so I liked EX 2000 a lot more than I thought I would. Guys, it's a great set for $99.
Yeah. For
$119. I'll even bump it up a little bit. For $119.99, it is a collector set for collectors. There's no you're not going to get huge hits and I mean I already don't meet in the middle with a lot of people's views on what's value in our hobby, but if you're looking for financial value, that's one of the worst sets you're going to get it from.
True.
If you're looking for a great value of collecting and beautiful, well thought out cards, that set's for you. That set's for you. So keep an eye out when it goes on sale. You know, keep an eye out. I would love to finish the base set of that. It's a beautiful set, very unique, and there's nothing else like it.
Yeah, it is very unique, and I think it's one of those that may or may not have. I'm not even saying I disagree with you. I totally agree that it's not going to set eBay sales records in the next 2 months. It's one of those sets that you buy the cards because you love them, and then sometimes these essential credentials 10 years from now, it's like, holy crap, that just sold for a lot of money, right?
Yeah, I also don't get it. Like, I know you've explained it to death. I'm not going to ask you to explain it again. I can go to hockeychecklist.com. Thank you. And check it out again. But I'm not grasping it quickly. So I kind of just give up. I'm like, what's green? What's blue? Oh, that's not a base. Oh, that gold one's so nice. Oh, it's a base card. Like, I've given up. I'm not prepared to. I'm still Parker's Champions in my mind. I'm still trying to finish that. I'm still playing with all those cards. So
that's why I love sets like this that appeal to different people. If it was very homogenous and Upper Deck released 26 versions of the same set every year, that would suck, right? And so naturally, if you want to have variety and you want to have differences and things that appeal to different types of collectors, then the natural byproduct of that is there's going to be sets that really speak to you. And then there's going to be other ones that it's like, well, I get it. I get why somebody would like it, but totally not for me. I'm into something else.
And then there's the third guy who buys the box and's like, what is this? I'm going on Facebook and I'm going to make a comment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have much of that. I don't
or
think
the people that just buy new and then I like how they come, what do you mean there's no auto? And it's like, well, this never was an auto set. And so, I think there's a little sometimes lack of education and I get it with the new set, but yeah. So
do you think the price tag, like, I know we don't like to guess but let's just quickly. I think the price tag's high because they had to really make sure the cards were beautiful. Is that like, or is it the Bedard tax, or both?
I think it's both. I think when you look at the base cards, that can't be a cheap card to make.
No. And listen, if you can't acknowledge that as an individual, that's crazy. Like, here's a real piece of information. This was 7 times as much to cost. Yeah, but it's too expensive. It's like, okay, you heard what I said though, right? You heard what I said. Yeah. We made a mistake as a company. We're not making much money, but we're very proud of our product. Like, that could be, that, let's say that was said. And the people are still like, yeah, but it's too expensive. It's like, okay, you know what? I'm tired of playing chess with pigeons.
Well, I'll give you a great counterexample and kind of tie into our little hockeychecklist.com update. Of course, is our checklist site where not a lot of like new development stuff, especially with my daughter's medical stuff going on, but been adding checklists. So I've spent the last 2 days because we try to be really detailed and we're focusing on quality over quantity.
Yeah, man.
Just launched an hour ago, 2022 Stature, because I know it's a beloved set. And I totally
You got it done, huh?
You did.
I got it done. Yeah. It's up.
Okay.
It's a tough one.
And I don't have any appeal to own a Stature card.
I'll take them.
Yeah, me too. I'm sold lately.
But here's the thing though, and it's a great set, and I totally recognize that most people love it. I look at Louis' like Madonna autograph, and it's super cool.
Oh, dude,
like I can appreciate it.
Cards of all time.
But it's just like how maybe the Fleer stuff doesn't speak to you. It's just I can't even articulate to you why I have no desire to own a card, because I should, right? All the key elements are there of what makes a great set, but we get to be subjectively irrational as hockey card collectors, and so that's kind of
that's what makes you beautiful, Josh, and that's what makes Louis beautiful, and I'm beautiful, and you, good listener, you're beautiful.
You're kind of beautiful. You're beautiful in that sort of unique way where most people wouldn't think you're beautiful, but some might.
You're beautiful.
So we just keep adding checklists and kind of planning new features. Couple other quick announcements before we get rolling. We got a huge show today, so we got to get to it, boys. GP Sports, that's a big week for breaks from GP Sports Cards. You want to go to gpsportscards.com right away, get your spots for 23-24 Premier release day, Phil. Premiere.
Big one. I think
Comes
they'll
out on
beat
Wednesday.
last year, or you know what I mean? Like last release. Last release was the best premiere I've ever seen.
Yeah. We're gonna go through. We're in a preview premiere on today's show, and I really like the design of the cards.
Is that this Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
Oh my god, I'm going broke. I gotta buy another box for Friday. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm not sure you're gonna love the price in Canada.
Oh.
It's,
You just
and
hold
it's
on there,
way
little
more
buddy.
expensive in Canada than here, by the way. So
Then
I
mail it
don't
to
know.
me.
I don't know what's going on. Okay, so and because Premier's a little bit on the pricier side, this might be a good one to break, guys. So again, go to gpsportscards.com because the spots are already selling out quick. They're already posted. And Grant does such interesting breaks. He's doing like a random player 50 box break.
Yeah, he does
for
crazy
Premier.
stuff. I love it.
And
He's
then,
a cowboy.
and then he'll do like team select breaks of like 20 boxes, stuff like that. So it seems like really reasonable prices too. And then if you're not, I guess, in the mood to buy a Premier break spot or don't have the money, they're always fun to watch because he opens so much. He pulls pretty big cards. So again, it's GP Sports on YouTube. So again, gpsportscards.com, get your Premier release day break spots. And then lastly, before we get started, is a reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, is a Patreon podcast, which means we rely on the support of listeners and watchers like yourself to help us cover our show expenses, produce more on what we hope to be better hockey card content, and then fund initiatives like hockeychecklist.com to help grow the hobby. It's very easy to support us. You can join our at a $2.99 support level tier on Patreon. Costs as little as $5 US a month. Don't go through iTunes because they charge a crazy tax. Just go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, and click on the Become a Patron link, or go to Patreon's website directly, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. There's a link in the show descriptions in both YouTube and the podcast apps and our Instagram and TikTok profiles too. Baba Louie, we have 2 new patrons. Very blessed and grateful since our last show. You want to give them a quick shout out?
I do. Is it Sir I Care?
Siri? Is it Apple like
or
Siri?
is it Siri Care?
Yeah.
Oh,
the next one's harder.
Well, let's give it a shot here.
Moose
well,
Boy?
thanks, Siri Care. And then
Oh yeah, Moose Boy.
Moose Boy.
Yeah.
It just they spell like M00SED0I. So is that
I
like
think
a
that's
gamer thing?
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh, Moose the one.
That's an I.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moose Boy.
Moose Boy.
Fat
Well,
boy
thanks,
go around
Moose
and
Boy
around.
and Siri Care. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Josh, you ready?
Yeah, let's do the game plan. Let's go.
Let's get into this game plan. So today, it's Get to Know Your Hall of Famers. Then we're going to move into Who's Hot and the Struggle Bus. Following that, it's some hobby news. Then it's building a card show in Saskatchewan, little interview. Then it's the Colorado Avalanche, hobby Mount Rushmore. And then why doesn't anybody care about fake comps? Josh did a little digging on that. Then it's new product releases, the Gongshow Mailbag, and personal pickups.
Thank you, Louie. Okay, here we go. With Get to Know Your Hall of Famers, it's where we are taking a look at every single Hockey Hall of Fame player, starting with the 1945 class and working our way to present day. We're still in the class of 1958, working our way through that. I love this segment. I think it's a great way to learn the history of hockey, get to know some of the players that help build the game that we love. And today's Hall of Famer we're going to profile is Duke Keats. Phil, Louis, Duke Keats. It's the new name.
No, I don't know him.
I said before, I think I only knew one so far of this group, and I'm not 100% I even really knew him.
Yeah. That's very conclusive. Thank you. Okay, so Duke Keats. Let's get to know a little bit about him. He was born in 1895 in Montreal. Passed away in 1972 in Victoria, British Columbia. Was 5'10", weighed 180 pounds, and a dynamic center known for his exceptional stick handling, creativity, and offensive dominance. Keats played in both the Western Canada Hockey League and the NHL, making an impact wherever he went. His professional career spanned from 1915 until 1934. Now, some of the teams that Duke played for, many of Louis' favorite teams, the Edmonton Eskimos.
What? That's CFL. That's a football team.
I was in the Western Canada Hockey League. I want one. They got to make like a hoodie or bring that back, or that would be pretty awesome. So he's wearing the Eskimo sweater right there in the photo. the Regina Capitals, Boston Bruins, Detroit Cougars. Don't get excited, Phil. It's not that kind of Cougar. And Chicago Blackhawks. So he played for a couple WCHL teams and 3 teams in the NHL. As I mentioned, he was a prolific scorer in the WHL, finishing among the leaders in points multiple times. His offensive brilliance made him one of the most feared forwards of his era. In the NHL, he brought his playmaking skills to Boston, Detroit, and Chicago, leaving a lasting impression despite the league's more physical and defensive nature. So it's kind of interesting. I think the NHL in the first few years was known more as a defensive league.
Mm-hmm.
So during his career, Keats led the WCHL in scoring multiple times, played a key role in making it a legitimate rival to the NHL in the 1920s, recorded 66 points in just 98 NHL games, a strong total for that era. And known for his fiery personality and competitive edge, Keats was not afraid to mix it up on the ice. So I have a couple of little stories or anecdotes that I think are pretty funny here. So Keats was known for his temper. And one of the most infamous incidents of his career came when he punched a referee during a game.
Jesus.
The story goes, while playing for the Edmonton Eskimos in the WCHL, Keats got into a heated argument with the official over a call. In the heat of the moment, he decked the ref, knocking him out cold.
Wow.
Now, back then, the game was still evolving in terms of discipline. And while this kind of incident will result in a massive suspension today, of course, Keats somehow avoided serious consequences, and his reputation as a fiery competitor only grew from there.
Oh, of course.
Right. Now, why should he care about Keats if you don't already, if you don't like that he decked a ref? Before the WCHL folded and many of its players moved to the NHL, Keats was its biggest star. During the 1923 exhibition game between the Eskimos and the Ottawa Senators,
Hey, nice.
Keats put on a one-man show against the NHL's best team. The Senators, led by Hall of Famers like Cy Denny and Clint Benedict, were expected to dominate, but Keats stole the spotlight. He dangled through Ottawa's defense, scored multiple goals, and controlled the play in a way that had NHL observers buzzing. Even though his team lost, Keats' performance would help legitimize Western Canadian hockey as being on par with the NHL. And it wasn't long after that the NHL absorbed many of the WCHL's top players, including Keats himself. Now, Keats had a reputation for being crafty, both on and off the ice. One story goes that during his time with the Chicago Blackhawks, Keith had a superstitious attachment to a very particular stick. He believed it was the key to his scoring success, and he wouldn't let anyone else use it. One night, a teammate borrowed the stick without asking. When Keats found out, he wasn't having it. He stormed into the dressing room, grabbed the stick, snapped it in half over his knee, yelling that if he couldn't use it, no one could.
Wow. Emotional intelligence on point, eh?
Duke Keats was one of hockey's early showmen, talented, aggressive, and never afraid to stand up for himself. Whether he was dazzling with his stick handling, fighting with referees, or making sure no one used his lucky stick, he left a lasting impression on the game.
Do you remember? Oh, geez, what is this? Back 2016-ish? Do you remember when Dennis Weidman got smoked on the ice and then got up and completely cross-checked that ref?
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, but was
No,
it? He thought it was the player. He didn't think it was their linesman, wasn't it?
Right. And
It was
so
a mistake. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was like, I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
like he had a concussion or something,
Yeah,
and he didn't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Google it.
I just think of that.
It just made me think of that for some dumb reason.
All right, looking at the Duke Keats hobby market, the only Plain Days card I could find, and we have people that are way more versed in vintage will message me and be like, well, you forgot these 12 cards. But I looked through TCDB and I thought it was card letter sales history. So the only one I could find is this 1923-24 Pollins V45-1 rookie picture card.
The only one?
Like
I think we know there's another one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
you
okay.
just wait a minute, buddy.
You just wait. Hold on your britches there.
Okay.
This SGC4 you're looking at on YouTube is a high selling copy, sold for $1,600 US in May 2023. And just for you, Phil.
Hold on, time out. Bill can wait a minute. Do you know why it says redeemed on this card on the label?
I'm sure it was a redemption of some sign because Pollins was a candy company.
Okay.
So maybe it had to send like proof of purchase in or something like that.
I just wonder.
I think
Never
it's
seen it, so-
because I think because the person who sent it in first made a mistake, and then the second time they sent it in, they totally redeemed themselves.
Okay, I got that one. I got that one.
That's
The first
the
movie
answer.
reference I've ever got. So.
All right.
Love Stand By Me.
What? That's not
Just
the
kidding.
movie?
I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
crazy
Just kidding.
knucklehead.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that was
Okay,
Pretty
Phil,
Woman,
for
dummy.
you. There's also the 1985 Cardophilium Dude Keats. As
So,
well. There was a
quick,
postcard set in 1983, just so you know too.
listen. I got a guy coming on the show. I don't know if it's next week or the week after, maybe even the week after that. But he has the whole set of Cardophilium, and he wants to talk about it. I'm sure the views will be low, but I'm interested. I don't care.
YouTube record.
YouTube record. 4
Ooh.
viewers, and my mom was
I don't
one
know
of them.
if you're sounding short because this PSA 8 sold for $7.20 this past August. So
Crazy disrespect.
he's recouped about half his grading cost, or third. Right?
Good thing it's not a 10. It set you back about $40.
Yeah.
And that, boys, is your Hockey Hall of Famer, Duke Keats. Kind of interesting one.
Yeah, it was good. I love these, man. Good job, Josh.
What a guy.
I would say that they've been about 2/3 very interesting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think all these old farts are super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When say it in front of Duke, probably club you with his stick.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll hit him back.
We'll move on to who's hot in the struggle bus. Weekly check-in on the 24-25 NHL season. See who's tearing up the league in the past couple weeks and who's riding the struggle bus. So each of us picked out a player for who's hot and on the struggling side. And we'll just get right into it with our picks for who's hot. So I went with Phil's man crush, Sidney Crosby.
Nice.
No, wait, you text me and you said nice photo.
I did.
What's wrong with the photo?
Out of all the pictures I left it. Look at it. I don't know. Out of all the photos you could have taken, you chose that one with like squishy face.
Squishy face.
He's concentrating. I like people that concentrate.
Guys who play drums. When I remember when I played the trumpet. Yes, I played the trumpet in school. The drummers, all the new drummers would stick their tongues out like that when they were playing drums. I don't know why.
You look more like a flautist to me.
I don't know.
Sure you didn't play the clarinet or flute or something like that?
A flautist? Yeah,
That's
no.
What you call it. That's what you call a person that plays the flute.
Well, that's crazy. You play the flute. You're the fluter. Flute king. That's what they call Josh in high school. Flute king.
I can't tell everyone.
I just call him band. I just call him band camp.
Band camp.
Anyhow, the 37-year-old Crosby leads the NHL in scoring over the past 2 weeks. How's that?
Because he's the
over
best.
the past 7 games, he has, or I guess Sid the not so kid, has 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. I think he added a few more points yesterday too. After I'd done the research.
What? You didn't change all your information? I had to redo all my Ovi stuff.
Sid the senior. Not
Come on. You want a trophy?
Yeah.
Okay.
White ribbon.
It's for the people.
We're going to put it right on the fridge, Louis. Right for you, buddy.
On the season now, Crosby's up to 23 goals, 50 assists for 73 points in 67 games played. Oh, yeah, 73 points. Okay. Well, so much attention, of course, is going to Ovi. At 37 years old, to be above a point per game, that's pretty good. The thing that's a bummer about this whole Crosby bit, Phil and Louis, is his team is no bueno.
They suck.
So there's going to be no postseason glory for Sidney Crosby this year. They're almost at the bottom of their conference, I believe. Also to note, in Saturday's 7-3 win over the Louis Devils. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they smoked them.
Crosby recorded his 50th assist of the season and also tied Wayne Gretzky for the fourth most points accumulated with one team.
Yeah.
It was 1,669 points. But I'm assuming that's how many points Gretzky must have had with Edmonton.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good on the stats on that one.
We know.
Is he still?
The kid?
Sorry, like forever and always. I think, and I don't like this other player. I don't, but I respect him. He always has had Malkin as a second line center ever since Malkin's been in the league, right? So
yeah,
there's always been a 1-2 punch his whole career. Well, since Malkin's been in the league,
the last 2-3 years of Malkin have been like he's fallen off the cliff, I think.
I don't know too much about Pittsburgh. I mean, who's on Malkin's
so.
line? Tomasino, I think, and Dewar, maybe. I don't know.
And who does he have? Like,
who's on Crosby's Rust and Raquel? I know that.
Okay.
I don't know how I know that, but I know that. I think I watched them the other day. And then I don't know who's on. I think Tomasino's on Malkin's line, but I don't know who else. Who else do they have? Like, who's their third line center? Like Hayes or something? I don't know.
I think the cupboard's a little bare.
Yeah.
Right.
And look at the points he's putting up. That's kind of my whole point. Sorry, bragging it out.
Hold on. What third line center? Blake Lizotte?
Oh,
of course, Blake Lizotte. How could we forget?
Yeah, no, I would have not gotten that.
Okay, well, the kid still has it. Now, Crosby's the 2005 Young Guns PSA 10 pop, 1281, 49% gem rate. Sold for $2,800 US on March 9th, up 30% in the past 3 months, 14% up in the past year.
Wow.
So just as a comparison, the 2,800 US, the 52-week low is 2,150 and 52-week high is 4,216.
What a roller coaster.
Now, all these cards, man, they go, they bounce. So that's why I like when we can showing the 52-week high and low.
Sure.
Makes a point. Speaking of points, who's your pick for who's hot?
My pick for who's hot is from the Washington Capitals, Alexei Protas.
Oh, so cute.
Well, I don't know much about.
I don't either.
I tried to dig into somebody we haven't really
Yeah, good.
So after reading a bunch of about him, this growth of Protas has been a sight, and I've been trying to watch some Capitals games lately, obviously for the Ovi thing, and then seen this kid just kind of stepping up, and
he's big, eh? He's a big boy. That's all I know. Yeah.
Even though he's 20, he's a 24-year-old from Belarus, and he's 6'6", 247 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
As a center.
Is he tough? Like, does he play a tough game, or is he finessey?
No, he's a big finessey kind of guy. He doesn't mind roughing it up, but he plays a smart hockey game. So he had only put up 52 points, though, through his first 3 seasons. Now, this year, for whatever reason, I don't know what he's eating. It looks like the kid's been shot out of a cannon, though, because he's turned into one of the Capitals' most important scorers and players on the team, and, playing like a top forward in the whole league.
He's on Belarusian gas.
He's on something.
Yeah.
So, this season he's already putting up career best marks in points and goals, this season. And he was brain fart, Jesus. He led the league in goals and overall scoring and was named the player of the week in March, the 7th through the 13th. Through 63 games this year, this kid has put up 28 goals, 30 assists, and 58 points. He now ranks 7th in 5-on-5 scoring league-wide and leads the NHL with a plus-minus rating of plus 38.
That's impressive. Phil's you're a big 5-on-5 scoring guy, right, Phil?
Big time. That's the game of hockey.
So we, as hockey collectors, we should probably spend multiple thousands on his rookie cards now, because he's, of course, going to be the next Ovechkin, right?
If you're not a real collector, if you don't have 400 plus Young Guns of this guy, you're not a real collector. That's my new thing.
Well, hey, you're in luck.
Oh, good. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, there is. Protas is a 21-22 Young Guns, and his PSA 10 has a pop of 27 with a gem rate of 56%. Last sale, January 2025 for $94. Go get your Protas PSA 10s or less Young Guns now.
Do you know which flagship series this is from?
1, I think.
No,
you know,
gotta be the number.
Ended?
The card number.
Yeah. So if it's in the 200s, it's series 1, the 400s series 2, and the 700s extended series.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the extended series they're selling for like $40 everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go buy some then. I'm gonna get
I was just gonna make the comment. What I love about Louis picking Protas is this is the type of player that probably is not on anyone's radar if you're not a Capitals fan. And I'm just imagining the people that are going to be like pausing the show to go dig through their.
I'm going on
their,
COMC right now while we're on the show. I
their
can't do
junk,
both.
their junk Young Guns
I
boxes.
can't do it. I can't.
I bet you I
I probably got rid of a bunch of these.
I probably have
Yeah.
a bunch sitting in the basement. I bought a case of that extended.
of course. All right, Phil, who did you pick for who's hot?
All right. So let's send the Buffalo Sabre fan, if there are any. Let's send them some good news. I picked Tage the Plague Thompson.
The
Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say Tage the Cage, but Plague's funnier.
I wish his nickname was Tage the Rage. I tried to call him that on the show, and everyone's like, "No, it's TNT." Which I think is kind of,
he's not a ragey guy. He's huge, but he's not ragey. He's 6'7". Anyways, okay. So Buffalo not so much is doing well, but Mr. Thompson is doing his best to show and maintain his relevance. 5 points in his last 5 games, not too shabby. He's still playing on the first line, obviously. I know that the Sabres have been struggling, but if you look, or should I say, looked up, past tense, at their roster, thank you. They have some serious young prospects. But we all digress as a collective in the confusion of what is this Buffalo Sabre team this year. But Tage is doing great. He's having a pretty good year on the season. He has 34 goals, 25 assists, and 59 points in 59 games. This massive human being at 6'7", couple of bucks and a quarter, that's 225, has crushed his last year's goal totals, and he's sitting at 34 this year. So he can definitely pop in 40 by the end of the year, which is very impressive to be a 40 goal scorer in the NHL, especially on the crappiest of crappy teams, Buffalo. So if he can pop in 40 this year, I think that omits any doubt if Tage is a pure goal scorer or not. I mean, look at the team he's on and look how he can do it. It's not the definition of a pure goal scorer. I don't know how he back checks per se, but
you know what? Here's what's funny. Here maybe this is something to look into.
Okay.
When I see Protas on the ice with Washington players,
yes,
he doesn't look as big as I said he was, and Tage is bigger. I'm curious as to what the team size, of the players is. Buffalo a smaller team? Know what I mean?
Maybe.
Because Protas doesn't stick out like Tage does when he's out there on the ice.
Yeah, but like I know I made the Belarusian joke, but like maybe Protas is only 6'3", but his card from Belarus has never been changed, right? Like baseball players from Cuba. Yeah, I'm 19. Like, I don't think so. Aren't you 30? Like,
their birthday is always January 1st. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what about Tage. When he's cooking, like we need think of like the eye test.
Yeah.
Oh, he's incredible to watch. He is fast and dynamic. It's just, and it's awesome that he has 34 goals again this year. It's just like he completely disappears from one year to the next. Like, he'll have a pretty good year and then 18 goals the next year.
Yeah, and that's you can't do like
you have to be consistent to be a superstar.
Yeah, as a big critic of Josh Norris, that is his biggest knock. And you can't have a Stanley Cup team with inconsistent play. I would take the subpar consistent player all day of the week because you can play chess that way. You can plan a game that way. You can put your best lines out there with the best chemistry that way. When you have uncertainty in sports, forget at the highest level, you got no chance. No chance. I'm glad my GM figured that out. Okay, so he's a 2017-18 young gun with a PSA 10 pop count of 553 with gem rate of 27%. So you got a 1 in 4 chance. They're ugly cards that year, anyways. Last sale was March 13th for $69 American dollars.
A couple years ago, that was like 250, 300.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Well, here she is, boys. Pulled up right on time. The Struggle Bus is here. And we're going to stick with Buffalo, Phil.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Right there, sitting in the front row.
Oh, no.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen.
You just wanted to say that name. He's probably been playing great.
I love that. But nobody can say it as good as him. And honestly, we could probably paint the Struggle Bus blue and yellow at this point because I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Yeah, the Sabres have had a rough year. UPL, though, in the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty brutal. Last 6 games, he's 2-4, 4.37 goals against, 0.847 save percentage. Is that good?
No.
I don't think so. On the season now, he's 22-21, 3.19 goals against, 0.88 save percentage. He's struggled, and himself and the team has struggled mightily too. Now, it's always a little bit hard with a goalie like this because it's like, well, where is he just playing bad? Is the whole team contributing to this? Well, one maybe factor to look at is the Sabres have allowed 213 goals this season, which ranks 29 of 32 NHL teams in goals allowed. So probably not getting a lot of help in front of him there. And then I'm like, well, where's Devin Levi? Like, where's like the Jedi, you know?
He down.
Well, he's in Rochester. He spent most of the season in the AHL. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see more Levi towards the end of the season. A UPL, just like Alexei Protas, is a 2021 young gun. PSA 10 pop, UPL Series 1. PSA 10 pop 157, just a 27% gem rate. That sold for $26 US on February 26th. Down 30% in the past 3 months, down 53% in the past 6 months. 52-week low, just $16. 52-week high, $68. So, all right. Who's sitting by UPL on the struggle bus?
Minnesota hometown boy Brock Besser
Oh,
of the Vancouver Canucks. So there seem to be many notable UFAs that go on an absolute tear before usually landing a shiny new contract. Wondering what's going to happen with Mr. Besser here. Last season, he did set a new career best for himself with 40 goals and 73 points. But now he's completely going the other way. Last year, it seemed Besser was able to find different ways to be effective on and off the puck, and he just hasn't been that guy for Vancouver this year, and that's somebody they need him to be. He was also thought to be a viable trade to multiple teams up to the trade deadline this year, and rumors were circling that this could happen. Besser to Minnesota.
Would you be happy about that?
I don't know. I'd have taken anybody at this point.
Yeah, well, our team is in such rough shape, but I think Besser's a tough one. You've got the Burnsville connection, of course, right next door to us. A lot of people we know his family. His dad had a very unfortunate and tragic illness, and that affected Brock greatly. And then he had a comeback year, and now he's struggling again. So it's just like, what are you getting? I mean, that's a big question. From if you're looking at hockey standpoint.
Do you like Bill Guerin, or do you think he's just kind of coasting on his name and I don't know.
I don't.
No, yeah.
No, I don't. I don't know what they're just not making any moves.
He's been your GM 5 years now? 2020?
All he does is complain that we can't do anything because of Parisian Suitor.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be, the biggest thing for me will be
this summer when they're off the
this
books,
summer.
Right?
Well, when they're gone, but if he fights to keep Kaprizov around or not,
you have to. You pay him what he wants.
Yeah, I don't disagree, we'll see. I'll make that.
Like I said, our team is unwatchable without Kaprizov. It literally,
or you get two back that are, I don't know, like two back and a first round or something. I don't know, like not even that. What do you want a first round for Kaprizov? You got the first round. He's the guy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You don't trade him.
You keep him. They're few and far in between like him. It's not gonna. You got to keep
It's
him.
scary. If Marner's looking for like 14 milli, Kaprizov's better than Marner. I think Nylander's better than Marner. I mean, Nylander's the best player on that friggin' team, man. Anyway.
Well, I think the other, and you have to knock Guerin because the buck stops at the top, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I really question our development of our young talent. We've had a lot of good prospects come through, but who's other than Faber, who was good instantly, right? You got to give Guerin credit for that. That was part of the Fiala trade, and so that was on his watch. So kudos to him. for that, for pulling a rabbit out of a hat with Brock Faber. But yeah, Boldy, Rossi, Liam Ogren, Jesper Wallstead. We had Kalen Addison. Who look, just nobody's developing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you, but I would say, well, what do you got? Zeev Boynum coming up on
Zeev
D.
Buum. Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Do you guys like Hines? That's him, the coach. It's not Everson,
Haynes?
right? Because
Oh yeah,
Everson's gone, right?
yeah. I
Mhm.
don't understand the difference between him and Evison. I mean, I haven't noticed nothing's changed.
No,
So
I don't know.
maybe that's another. I know he's Garen's guy, and Garen inherited Evison, so I get it from that. But literally, I don't think our team's any different. And I don't know. I would. It
No.
seems like Columbus is looking better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. I don't know. Liam Ogren sometime. You got Charlie Stramo coming. I mean, there's stuff coming in the
Pipeline.
but
Okay,
Yeah,
this is
right.
turning into
but who knows?
wild wine line here. So
Yeah.
let's
Wild
get back to
wine
Brock
line.
Besser.
Can I pick
So-
my player or not? No.
Anyways, Brocky Besser. So I guess it looks like Besser's still gonna just be the longest tenured player on the Canucks. So in his last 5 games, though, he had mustered up 1 assist and has averaged 20 shifts per game. So
Eeh.
20 shifts per game, that's anywhere from 17 to maybe 20 minutes, I guess, in a game. In 59 games this season, Besser's put up only 18 goals, 20 assists for 38 points. Now, he did miss 7 games this year and is on pace for just 27 goals and 53 points, giving him an 82 game pace of just 57. So I think it's just a wash for him. This would be his lowest full season pace since he was on track for only 53 points in 21-22 and the 3rd lowest of his career. Now, if you're looking for a Brock Besser young gun, it's a 27-2018. His PSA 10 PSA 10 pop is 751 and holds a gem rate of 47%. Last sale was 3 days ago for $63. Now, over the past 3 months, the card has been down 17%, so about $13.50. And slowly, though, for whatever reason, it's been trending back in the right direction, gaining back some of what he lost over the last month, and is within $4 of its 3-month low.
Brock Besser.
Brock Besser.
Who's the last guy in the struggle bus, Phil?
I try not to pick on the blue team players too much, but I also like this guy, but this is more of a I respect you, Morgan. Is everything okay kind of scenario? So my pick this week is Morgan Riley. Had the pleasure of watching 2 Leaf games last. Sorry, I had the displeasure of watching 2 Leaf games last week.
Wow.
Yeah. And Morgan was extremely noticeably unnoticeable. Yes, I know the saying. If you don't notice a defenseman, they're doing their job. Well, man, I don't know about that. Morgan is sitting at a fat negative -20 on the year, and he's a defenseman. So to pick on him a little more, he has 7 goals and 26 assists this year, on pace for his worst season in 9 years. So blue team fan, don't get mad at me, or do. It's okay either way. I know he hasn't played a full 82 games in a few years, but the year he played a full 82 games was his best year ever in his career for everything, all the stats, recording 68 points, top-notch year. He has a fat contract, 8 years at $60 million. But wait, there's more. He got a $9 million signing bonus on top of it, which is just crazy. On the flip side of all this negativity, he's reliable. He plays on the second PP, and he understands the role on the team. He's a top 4 defenseman professional who shows up. As a Ottawa Senator fan who has not had that in many years, I respect you, Morgan Riley. I had to pick something for this week, and I picked you. Okay. So listen, everything's going to be great. Morgan Riley's a stud. He's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, blue team fan. Peaks and valleys are the name of the game of life and hockey, and Mr. Riley is just in a bit of a valley. That's all. And I had to pick something, so I picked him. Riley is a 2013-14 young gun with a PSA 10 pop count of 361 and a gem rate of 63%. So over flip a coin, you get better odds than that. Last sale was May 8th. Oh, no one cares, eh? May 8th, 2024
Wow.
for 115 America dollars.
That surprised you?
8th of
I
last
thought
year.
Toronto fans are
Yeah.
bigger.
But listen, a lot of Toronto shows, so that card's probably pretty. Well, I don't know. We'd have to ask Sylvain. Is this a liquid card? I mean, I don't know. I'm not paying attention. Sylvain would
Probably
know
not.
better.
Defenseman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, quick recap. So on the who's hot list, we had Crosby, everybody's new favorite prospect, Alexei Protas. Bill's bought 200 young guns.
Yeah, already. Yeah.
The
There's
last
none on
time
ComC. I have them all.
And then whatever nickname you want to call him, Tage Thompson. And then on the struggle bus, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, our hometown boy, Brock Besser. And Phil's crapping on the blue team again with Morgan Riley. So, Slab Sharks, Gongshow partner sponsor. We are thankful for their support of our show. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction is live, ends this upcoming Thursday night. It's another banger, huge auction. About 4,300 cards available to bid on. You can head to slabsharks.com right now, mark up your favorites, and get those early bids in. We've done our homework. We have each to pick out a couple cards that have hit us in the hobby fields. And I've decided we're going to go in the order of tallest and best looking to shortest. And that means, Phil, you go last. Are you shocked? Okay. Because I'm the best looking. I'll go first. Here's my favorites. We'll start with a 2020 Upper Deck Clear Cut Steve Yzerman Canvas Signature Auto out of 25. PSA 10. This is a fantastic card, in my opinion. A great picture of the captain. The snow spray there. Huge blue ink auto. One of the bigger Yzerman autos I think I've seen. Hand numbered, which I love. And yeah, it's a jersey number 2. So, I mean, I suppose that's going to make this one really expensive, right? 19 out of 25. And then a PSA 10. So if you want that perfect condition card or perfectly graded card, however you look at it, yeah, it's a nice card. The second one I picked is a 24-25 Upper Deck Macklin Celebrity Young Guns Rookie Silver Outburst. I kind of decided that this is my new Young Guns base card. I love these cards so much. I don't like how common, for my taste, a base Young Guns is.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I don't know. This Outburst technology is like, I'm not shocked. I'm less and less shocked that the gold Outburst is like going bananas in the hobby because these cards just look so fantastic.
It's a nice card. Yeah. Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Fun. So my pick is an 05 Upper Deck Victory. Alex Ovechkin rookie. PSA 10. Why not?
Right.
Cool card. OV rookie. Record breaker, soon to be.
Baby Ovi.
No, in all seriousness, though, I do like these cards. I think they look cool. I could, it didn't have to be OV, but this one looks sweet. Really like them. I love the old school stuff. And speaking of old school, 1998-99 Bowman's Best Refractor, Teemu Selanne. PSA 9.
You know what I like about
Gorgeous.
this card?
Everything.
Yeah, it's nice. But you know when he played for Anaheim and they had that jersey that just said like Ducks small on it? It's not a very attractive jersey to me. That he's got the Mighty Duck logo on here. Very good. I'm much more into the Jets. Like that'd be my first choice for a Teemu card.
Okay.
Like, but this is my second choice.
Yeah.
Do we agree or disagree?
I agree. It's just Bowman's
Phil,
Best.
you're on mute.
And Bowman's Best seems to have it. They always had it dialed in with refractor cards and styles. I always loved them. This was way down the list, man. I had to click a load more, like, I don't know, 5 times to get down to this guy.
It was 4,000 cards.
I
or
know.
whatever. All right, Philly boy. What are your 2 favorites?
All right. I got a couple of goodies here. You're looking at a 23-24 Upper Deck Clear Cut Connor McDavid Sweet Shot Auto. Never seen this card of Connor before, ever. But of course, it's clear cut. Whoop, whoop. man, oh man, if there's a product I'll never, ever buy a box of again, but I'm falling head over heels in the product, it's Clear Cut. Okay. I lived through Dave, California Dave, and I'm retired after my last hit, which has stressed me out to oblivion. So yeah, cards I love in Clear Cut. I absolutely love them. But when I hit if I got a box and I didn't like the card, I'd throw it right in the trash. It bothers me. So as far as hockey cards go, this has so much going for it. It's clean, white, upper deck logo is embossed in silver. It doesn't take anything away from the card. You got the beautiful Oilers logo at the bottom right. Extremely simple design with an action shot and a nice crisp auto. Amazing. This is what I want in a hockey card. Current bid is $400. I think anything under 1,900 for McDavid is I'll always pay attention to it.
Sure.
I really don't know where this card will go. Like I said, current bid is 400. If it sold for 1,500, I wouldn't be surprised. And if it sold for 550, I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm not going for it. But I think the good listener should take a look. My second card is more of something I want to talk about a little bit. It's a 2002 Topps Chrome. You guessed it, Patrick Waugh reprint refractor. So, hobby family, I don't know a lot about stuff, but I do know my Patrick Waugh reprints and refractors. So, I am a huge, huge fan of the 25 card set from 2002, 2003 Topps. Topps Chrome. This is an insert set of 25 cards for Patrick Waugh. Better believe it is. This is not to be mistaken. This card specifically, not to be mistaken for the 1998 Topps Chrome Blast from the Past refractors. Almost always they're labeled incorrectly. All you have to remember is this. Keep it super simple. The 2002, 2003, the 25 card set, like the Waugh tribute, they always say Topps Chrome on the card. On every card, it says Topps Chrome. It gets even more confusing because some say Topps and some say O-Pee-Chee, but they're all from 2002, 2003. I'm assuming they did this to limit the jerks tricking civilians that these are original rookie cards, okay? There's 3 cards of this set. There's the regular reprint, which looks like just a regular reprint Patrick Waugh rookie card. Then there's the Chrome, and then there's this, what you're looking at.
Yeah, I know the regular one because I bought it thinking it was a
no,
you're not a Patrick Waugh rookie. Yeah, that was one of my finer moments in the hobby.
Yeah. So they always the Topps regular one you might not have, Josh, because there's a gold emblem on it on the top right. Oh. You might have bought the Blast from the Past. You see, it gets confusing. It's not confusing, but once you get into the conversations, it gets silly. So anyways, the second, so you have the regular, the second is chromed, and the third is a refractor. Like I said, there are 25 Patrick Waughs in this set. Listen, if you're a hockey card collector, set collector, flipper, I have all 25 in regular chrome and refractors. I look at these cards at least once every month. I love my Patrick Waugh cards. They're very well produced. Topps is a great product. And you also have parallels in this product as well that are not part of the 25. You can get a patch in there and an auto, and they're all very reasonably priced. It is very attainable. This is an attainable set. And if you are, I don't know, if you're around Josh and Louis and my age, why would you not want to get these? They're amazing. And you can pick up some of the lesser known ones really cheap. Is it refracting? Is it refracting? Yeah, they're beautiful cards. So that's my pick. Those are my 2.
Good picks.
Lovely.
Well, the reason why so many hockey cards each week is in the Slapsharks auction is because they make your life super easy selling your cards on eBay. They do all the work. All you got to do is ship Slapsharks your cards via their simple to use portal, or drop them off at a booth, at a show, or hand them to your local rep, and then they take it from there. And then equally as important, your cards get included in one of the biggest weekly hockey auctions, maybe on the planet, giving you tons of opportunity to reach a lot of hockey collectors. So for complete consignment information, including on payout rates, and to get the process started today, head to slapsharks.com. Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Well, got to give a big shout out to the Gongshow's Baba Louie here with my daughter in the hospital and trying to help her recover. Louis stepped up and kind of is captaining Hobby News. He did all the work. And so thank him for that. And can't wait to see what you dug up.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Now, don't shoot the messenger. We're going to start off with the grade 8 chase. Ovi's goal record-breaking attempt. It's all stats. Don't get mad at me. I'm just reading off. You can make your own decisions after.
Nerd alert!
But with all this talk about the goals record possibly being broken, I threw together a few stats and tidbits between Ovi and the great one, Wayne Gretzky, of how their careers compared. So as of March 15th, Ovechkin is now 7 goals away from matching Gretzky's mark of 894 goals and 8 from taking over first place on the all-time list. For his career, the Capitals captain is averaging 0.6 goals per game, meaning at that rate, he would score 50 goals in an 82-game season.
That's incredible to think about. That for every 82 games, he scores 50 goals.
Mhm.
That's wild, man.
So then I was getting my creative graphics on, and I put this together. I thought it was kind of cool. So Ovechkin has 34 goals, 21 assists in 51 games. Now, factoring in the 16 games that he missed, that is a 43 goal pace, giving him the chance to reach the 42 goals he needs to break the record this season. As of this past weekend, Ovechkin has played also in 10 fewer career games than Gretzky did.
So they're
No.
very equal in their percentage of goals scored.
Mm-hmm. Now, both Ovi and Gretzky averaged about 49 goals per season. And it's believed, listening to everybody, Ovechkin still got a lot more in the tank with how consistent his scoring still is.
I saw somewhere that he's planning on playing next year and then being done. Did you guys see that too?
I heard that as
I
well.
heard
Yeah,
it.
but I cannot confirm.
Mm-hmm. I guess that would make sense. And then he wants to play in Russia, so it sounds like he wants to go back there.
I think he's going to be.
I would.
He's going to
Trust
be the Yager. And just play.
I'd break the record and I'd go play in a beer league in Russia and enjoy my money. Done.
Yeah,
That's all I would do.
Maybe he really wants to be the first guy to 900.
It's very admirable.
That'd be cool.
You guys put anything in the whole Gordie Howe thing? If you combined his WHA goals to, didn't he have like 940?
No, I can't. It's a different league. I can't, just because it's professional hockey. I mean, I've seen professional baseball and it's pretty bad. So yeah, I just can't. And that on that alone, the WHA league was not up to par with the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. So when I have a lot of time to play on the computer, if you're not watching, I decided to start something new. And I'm calling this the Gongshow Did You Know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Nice.
Now, I thought this was, I had no clue. Not that I follow, who gets what trophy when and how many they have and when they got them, but I thought it was crazy that Ovi has gone on to win the Rocket Richard Trophy. That's the leading scorer in the NHL. 9 times, including hitting the 50 goal mark 9 times in his career. No other player has won the award more than twice.
Wow.
9 flipping times. And he won it for like 5 years in a row.
Crazy.
In that span somewhere.
Phil, did you get my first movie reference ever on the show?
No, I didn't catch it. Was it just now?
Yeah.
No,
9 times.
What's that?
No, I don't know what that is.
Is that another brother-sister love story movie?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Well, kind of. I mean, another line from the movie is "Kiss for Daddy."
You're not convincing me. Louis not right.
Really?
Is this an appropriate movie you can talk about?
When Cameron was in Egypt land, let my Cameron go.
All
right, moving right along.
Wait. No, we can't move on. There's a.
I know that. Hold on. I got this. When they put the car in reverse. Yeah. They went to the baseball. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There you go.
Yeah.
You go.
Wow.
The professor that was charged. Like, I think it was seriously.
Anyone?
Chloroform 9 times.
Oh, I don't remember that. No.
All right. Sorry, Lou.
No, it's totally fine. So, here I'm delving out all this info. So, who's better, Gretzky or Ovechkin? Well, some will argue that Ovechkin is a greater goal scorer because scoring has become more challenging. Sure. Gretzky's early years were played when the NHL averaged the highest average points per game. Okay. So, another little stat thing then. Of 25 players who scored 65 goals or more in a season, 19 of them were in Gretzky's era. And that includes 4 seasons where Gretzky scored 71 or more. And then Ovechkin has only tallied 65 goals once.
Okay.
So, okay, make another argument there. For me, I don't measure how great a hockey player is only by how many goals they rack up. I think even if Gretzky gets passed for the goal record, I still consider him the great one. That'll never be taken away. In his 20 years in the NHL, Gretzky's play, this is the biggest thing, contributed to more goals for his teams than any player by far. And in addition to leading the league in goals 5 times, he led the NHL in assists 16 times, leading to a career points record that I don't think will ever be surpassed.
Probably
Now,
not.
so let's
Can we
throw.
agree? Do you guys think though that I tend to think that Ovi, some players like you can maybe make the argument wouldn't be as great today as they were in the time they played. Ovi seems like the type of player that would have been good in any era, right?
Yeah, agreed. I think Crosby too. Crosby would have played great in any era.
Mhm.
Okay, funny you bring him up there, little buddy.
Nice.
So let's take a look then now at how Ovechkin compares on career points with goals and assists. And to make it a little more interesting, I decided I'm going to toss Mr. Crosby into the mix. So Crosby joined the NHL, if you didn't know, in 05-06 with Ovechkin. Crosby has assisted on nearly 50% more goals than Ovechkin has.
Wow.
Now, Crosby, 615 goals for 1,053 assists and 1,668 points. Then we have Gretzky, 894 goals, 1,963 assists for 2,857 points. And then comes Ovi with 887 goals, only 718 assists, but for 1,605 points.
Yeah.
So, to me, I still know who I'm taking.
Wayner?
I'm
To dinner?
taking Wayner to dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. To
You
prom?
know. Sure. What the hell? Why not?
Oh, you got to take Crosby to prom. Come on, he's got the big bubble butt. Yeah.
Oh. What?
Crosby sure fills the prom dress, I gotta say.
Oh.
If he's my date, I'm buying them the dress.
All
Come
right.
on. Chivalry's not dead with me.
So then one more thing I just want to touch on, because everybody brings this up, is Alex Ovechkin and his empty net goals.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
not a big deal.
Empty net goals are a perk of playing in the league. If you're good, you're going to get them. Yes, he's taken advantage of every opportunity
As you
and
should.
seems to, and has more than anybody in the league. But he's just topped Gretzky's 56 empty netters last year and now has 65 total.
Listen, you know what? Take the empty nets, man. You
Yeah.
that's the respect. Like, it's not like it's his 3rd year and it's like, holy crap, what a hog. He's always getting empty. No, man, who is allowed to do the empty net thing? Ovechkin, Crosby, the Claude Giroux, John Tavares. I wouldn't care. John Tavares can get all the empty net goals he wants. I respect him and what he's given to the league and the sport. That's how I look at that.
And I don't even think it's really his fault. Not that fault is the proper term, but if you're Connor McMichael or Alexei Protas, there's no way you're not passing it to Ovi.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Yeah, you would.
Oh,
you would
my
hit
God.
the locker room, and Tom Wilson would cross-check you into your own locker.
Yeah.
Well, Ovi just fed Protoss the other night for an empty netter so Protas could get it a hat trick.
Oh, I love
Well,
that.
I know, but
Awesome.
it's not working that way in reverse
know.
though. There's no chance
Well,
that any player is not passing.
No, but that's great, Ovi. That Louis, what you just said means the world to me. It makes me like him even more now, man. That's awesome. Good.
Oh, all right, Philly, your blue team. I got some information here. Might
Oh
be
yeah, Phil,
interesting
perk
to you.
up. This is like right in your wheelhouse to trash in the blue team. So here we go.
Yeah,
I
there's
feel I'm quite respectful in my trashing.
some interesting news going on here.
Trade deadline over?
Yeah, so the trade
Fallout
line
isn't.
the trade line deadline is over, but there's still something cooking up in the old Toronto there. Leafs GM Brad Treliving. Am I saying that right?
Tree living.
Tree Living.
Kind of an interesting name though. Tree living.
Well, he allegedly leaked news of a failed Mitch Marner trade proposal involving Mikko Rantanen. So, Marner, who holds a no trade clause, declined the trade as expected. Now, some people view this as a signal that Marner wants to remain in Toronto long term, and others see it as a strategic move that he possibly wants to maximize his value in free agency. My question, though, was why leak the information? Well, Nick Ripos is
Kyprios?
Kyprios. Kyprios.
Yeah.
Kyprios.
It's a Greek name, so Phil's
Greek
coming in
name.
to save there.
Thanks, Phil. So he dropped this information on the Fan 590, claiming that Tree Living, did I say it right this time?
Sure.
Intentionally leaked this news. And it looks like this is a loud and clear message from Toronto to Marner that the Leafs are looking at all possible options to move him. Now, by leaking the info and making the failed attempt public, I thought this could have probably accomplished a few things. Now, first, the information is out there that there was an attempt to move Marner. He can gauge the public's and media reaction. And then second, this will play into the contract negotiations this offseason and keeping it at the top of Marner's thoughts that his future is not going to be guaranteed in Toronto. Personally, I think it's a dumb decision because now if he really cares, he's probably thinking about this for the remainder of the season. And I'm sure that can't help play having stuff like that in the back of your head. But then
Looks like a TCG collector.
Marner?
Yeah.
Random.
Like he's got like a big Pokemon collection.
Yeah, I think there's
Magic
these
the
young men in the league. I'll throw Josh Norris in there. These guys, it's a little like, oh man, we're making so much money. We're playing. Hey, you want to play later? Like, I don't know. Sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Then the other thing I thought, caveat, the other side to this is if he doesn't decide to sign sooner than later with Toronto, then it's all about the money. That's all I can think of. I don't know.
Or he doesn't want the smoke at Toronto. I think he's
Maybe.
gone. Yeah, like.
Well, he has to be gone. When you go to say, hey, we have a trade for you for Rantanen, and he says no, the relationship is not super repairable at that point, is it?
I wouldn't think so. Don't blue team listener, don't you want him gone? I the vibe, the sentiment I get on the Twitter machine is that I don't know. Maybe it's Marner's time to go. I literally don't care if I'm right or wrong on that. But
he's having his best season though, right? I mean, that's like the thing behind all of this is that's what makes it really, I think, unique.
We'll see postseason, buddy. Postseason. That's all that matters. Toronto seems primed and ripe for a first round exit. I feel their fans know this. I feel, I don't know. Like Nylander is my favorite player on that team. He is so good. I build a team around him.
Would you worry more about Toronto with Rantanen than Marner?
Yeah. If they had Rantanen, I'd be a little nervous to play them in the first round. I want Toronto. If Ottawa still makes it, still lots of hockey to play. I'm not ridiculous. We could totally blow it. But if we don't and we make it to the first round, bring us Toronto. We'll take it from them. And they know it. They know it. You know it, Blue Team listener. It's we
Mhm.
got their number always, man.
Well, Marner's already got 80 points in 65 games, 21 goals, 59 assists.
I don't think Marner has the want. I don't think Josh Norris had the want. I think my boys on my team have more of a want.
Sure.
Yeah, it's obviously not the style that you like in a hockey player, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like that if they do get bounced, that there has to be a shakeup at some point. And it
Oh,
feels like,
listen, if they don't make it to the finals this year, I think they're gonna. Well, maybe even the conference finals. Like if they give the conference finals and give it a real good go, maybe then it'll be they won't do something too drastic. But anything other than that, forget it.
Mhm.
It's big heads are gonna roll. Yeah.
Well, speaking of you bringing that up, that what's the dude's name? Kyprios? How do you say it?
You said it.
Okay. So he also said that he believes if there's another first round exit for the Leafs, that
Oh yeah.
Mr. GM Tree Living, Jesus, and team president Brandon Shanahan could be out of a job.
Well, Shanahan should have been out of a job a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I'm pretty sure most will agree with that one. Yeah.
my little
I
sum
just
up,
think it's always crazy if you go to a guy, ask him for a trade, and he says no.
and he says
that,
no.
I can't believe that Rantanen's scary, man. If he was on the Leafs, Matt, like, wow, those lines.
Mhm.
Marner, I'm not afraid of Marner at all. The Nylander scares me. He's the only player on the Leafs, and Matthews, of course. He seems to have my team's number.
Mhm.
Matthews only has 24 goals this year. Not a lot of people are talking about that.
How was he at? He was great, for in the Four Nations.
He was all right.
Oh, please. He's your captain. He's a plug. All right.
But
all right.
anywho, one more to round up the old hobby news here, and it makes for a good we'll see where he ends up on this old hobby Mount Rushmore we got coming up. Nathan MacKinnon, 1,000 points in his 856th career NHL game. Big Mac. That's what I'm going to go with if I can say that. Is that okay? That other company won't care.
Makes me hungry, but go ahead.
True. So he recorded his 1,000th NHL point. He is the 100th player in NHL history to reach this milestone.
Oh, that's crazy.
Does the hockey care?
No, but
Cool,
stat guys do. And he's also the 23rd player to do it in 856 games or less. The next closest player to have a chance to reach this milestone is Alexander Barkov.
Ooh. I love him.
And he's currently sits at 771 career NHL points.
That's amazing. So the next closest, we're not going to have 1,000-point player in a long time.
Right.
This is an insane stat. We should, like what Ovechkin's doing, what MacKinnon just did, what Crosby doing. These are guys. We're around hockey during these like massive historical moments, and our hobby doesn't care that much.
Well, think about those. So if Barkov is the next closest at 771, even if he gets it, that's what, 4 years?
How many
will he score? Three. Yeah, probably in the fourth. Because let's say he scores 70. Was Barkov like a 70-point scorer typically? Something like that.
Well,
crazy.
Hold on. Why did it say that? Hold on. Why does it say Barkov? He's got.
Well, you wrote it.
I did write.
What's going on?
Oh, no, that's not right. Sorry, guys. It was a great stat, but
Jesus, Louis. That's it. Cancel the tape.
Well, that's the information I got. 1,000 points. MacKinnon is at 1,001. Oh, my bad. Brad Marchand, 976.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, how could we be
such a
4
huge?
years?
Well, that's why I went in here and looked. I'm like, where I got that could not be right.
Oh no, Carlos is gonna make fun of us now.
That's okay.
Okay, yeah. It's like, you
got Marchand 976, Kucherov 966, Draisaitl 950, and then blah blah.
Yeah, Jamie Benn, Corey Perry, Brent Burns has 904.
Well, I'm glad I caught that before this was over with.
Oh, that's right.
I'd have caught hell forever.
Oh my gosh.
Brenty Burns. That's what he's sticking around for. He wants his 1,000 points. Watch, he'll retire after he gets 1,000 points.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, why is he still playing? He doesn't need. Looks like he's done with hockey.
Well, congrats to MacKinnon and Avs fans, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good dang deal.
He should be a Nordique.
We're going to move on to our building a card show in Saskatchewan. Oh, the Wheatfields.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
Yeah, Hockey Card Burning Man, as we like to call it. So every month we check in with Justin and Carter from the Saskatchewan Card and Collector Experience. It's a brand new big show. It's being created by just a couple of regular guys with day jobs that had a dream to create a big show experience for the people of Saskatchewan. And Justin and Carter have agreed to take us along for the ride to see what it's like starting a show from scratch with literally no experience. They've never done this before, which I think is kind of amazing. Lots of big things have happened since the last time we spoke to the boys. We hope you enjoyed this month's edition of Building a Card Show in Saskatchewan. We are very, very excited to welcome back to our show the guys from the, let's see if I can get it. I struggle so much with your name and it's embarrassing, but it's the Saskatchewan Card and Collector Experience. Did I get it? Did I do it right?
Sir. Yep.
All right. There we go. Well, welcome back, Carter and Justin. First off, I got to say thank you guys very much for your role in getting Brian Trottier on our show.
So exciting.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience. What an incredible guy. So what were your thoughts of the interview? Did we do a good job? Were you happy with how it turned out?
It was so incredible. Go ahead, Carter.
Well, it was amazing how Brian talked about Saskatchewan, talked about the people here, what you can expect. I mean, that being called a little bugger from Gordie Howe, it's just, there's from that to collecting hockey cards, like, he has a Gordie Howe rookie card. It's around here somewhere, it's like, holy man, and it was an amazing podcast to listen to. Video. It was just, he really spoke from the heart and shows what Saskatchewan's all about. He represents well, and you could tell he's never forgotten his home roots and makes us feel proud that he's from this province. And we can't wait to bring him home to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in October and come sign some autographs for the fans of Saskatchewan. And it was awesome.
What were your thoughts?
Yeah, it really resonated with me being from a small town of 500 people. I got misty-eyed listening to it. I listened to it 3 times that day. It was always awesome. He's such an ambassador for the sport and small community. And like he was saying, how resilient we are here and how it doesn't faze us to drive 4 hours to get an autograph and meet somebody that we've been idolizing and wanting to shake hands with for 4 hours in -40 weather. It was incredible. Yeah. So happy that go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know what I'm going to say when I see him.
I can't wait to meet him too. And one of the things that kind of clicked with me during that interview that I picked up a little bit on from you guys, but you don't know if it's just you or if there's this vibe, but it seems like that there's a lot of, it's like Saskatchewan pride. Is that like a real thing? It seems like you guys are really, in a cool way, like really, really proud of where you're from. And that it seems to me like that's been a big driving force for you to not only create kind of a cool card show and build a business around that, but bring this to your home, bring it to Saskatchewan, where you feel like these people there haven't had anything like this before.
Yeah, 100%. It's, like remember when we talked in the fall there, Josh, and we were explaining our story to you, how it felt like we were jumping up and down and waving our arms and being like, hey, this is Saskatchewan, come and join us. Like, this is what we're about. And I feel like this small province, but mighty province sticks together and shows everyone what we're made of. And anyone who's from here, like, it's like the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, it's the CFL football, but they sell more merchandise than all of the CFL put together, one team, and that's Saskatchewan Rough Riders. So I mean, in the past, people used to leave this province, and now people are coming here. So it's a cool experience. it's been a ride so far. It's been awesome.
Well, and I kind of want to tie into that and the whole Brian experience. And so, to catch anyone up, so Justin and Carter, you guys have never thrown a card show in your life. This isn't like, it's not like this is your business and you're bringing it to another city. So you're doing everything for the first time. And Saskatchewan hasn't really had a big show, or Saskatoon as well, like this in at least a long time. And so, how do you get Brass, 6-time Stanley Cup champion, to come? I'm kind of interested in the backstory there, and also if you think that part of that whole Saskatchewan, pride, if that really, you think helped sway him to want to do this.
Yeah, so my son's grandpa actually connected me with a lady here in Saskatoon who is also well connected and knows Brian personally and has become friends with him over the years. Terry, give her a shout out here. She's been amazing through this whole process. And we told Terry about our story and what we wanted to do. We wrote up a little proposal to give to Brian. And then Brian reviewed it, and I check in every week. And then I think 2 or 3 weeks went by, and then I got an email from Terry saying, "Here's Brian's number. Give him a call." So when I put Brian's phone number in my phone, I had to stare at it for at least 2 minutes, and I was just like, "Oh my God, this is actually happening!" And then, you build up the courage to call him, and then we called him and had a good hour conversation with Brian, and I called him Mr. Trottier first, and he's like, "Oh no, call me Brian." And then, it felt like he was telling me more stories than we were talking business. But when we finally did get down to the business, long story short, is he just absolutely loved what we were doing. And
Nice.
He said he wanted to come home. He wanted to bring this to the hockey fans and of the province. And he knows how much the hockey means to this province, and the cards and the memorabilia. And you heard Brian talk about hockey cards. You can tell that he appreciates them. The autographs, he should be going to talk to the Upper Deck team there and being an ambassador for that. But yeah, he was totally on board, 110% support. And we figured, well, not everyone, but some people are like, well, is this going to go ahead? And how big of a show is this? So we thought, you know what, if we can get Brian Trottier, then we can get people to come. And even in the last 24 hours here, we had 2 more people book booths, and the inquiries have been up. Leading up to Brian has been getting extremely busy, but having Brian on board and believing in us was the biggest driving force right now. It was amazing to have him.
Yeah, that's awesome. He's a great guy. And now he's just a great ambassador for the game and everything outside the game with cards and memorabilia and talk. He's just, at first you were probably nervous when you called him, and within 2 minutes you're probably like, oh my God, well, I can just talk to this guy. I didn't get to participate in the interview, but just listening to it, I was like, this is somebody you could just talk to.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. And it was amazing.
So down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like
it's a huge credibility builder, right? To get Brian into the mix, and because like you guys said, if there's anyone on the fence that's like, I'm not sure if I'm willing to commit to this brand new show, and these guys that have this crazy idea that are trying to bring something really cool and awesome, to the province of Saskatchewan and the city of Saskatoon. Well, if Brian Trottier can commit, I probably can too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I just gotta say one thing. So the part of your story that I gotta kind of add on to is, you mentioned that Brian, you got his number and we're just asked to call him. Well, when we found out that he was going to be willing to come on our show and have the interview, the same thing happened. And first of all, Carter had the same sort of, oh my God, I have Brian Trottier's number. But then, and I want to tell this because I know that 2 of the people on here are really going to resonate with this. I have a disease. I cannot stop pocket dialing, and it drives me crazy. I pocket dialed Justin twice in the last 2 days. And the first thing I said to my wife is, I have an NHL Legends phone number. And then I followed that up almost immediately with, "Oh my God, what am I gonna do when I pocket dial Brian Trottier?" Because I haven't yet, but that's the number one thing
I'll answer the phone for you. That's okay. You can pocket dial me.
I don't know. I don't try to do it. I don't know how it always. And sometimes my phone wasn't on that screen when I shoved it in my pocket. I hadn't talked to anyone. I don't know. I think he hates me and just wants to pocket dial random people and embarrass myself constantly. Yeah.
So you are the king.
I am the king of pocket dialing people. Yes, if I ever have your number, it's going to happen repeatedly. So, okay. So he comes on. We were able to, announce his involvement with the show. And you guys immediately get some impact, which is great. And then also coincides with your website going live, which is a key aspect to all this, right? Because that's where people can actually go online and register their tables, and then now buy tickets to not only to the show, but to get autographs signed or book signed by Brian. I just built a website. It took a year. It was horrible. How's building a website?
Oh, yeah.
How long did that take us? 3 months, 4 months to put together? It was quite a while, back and forth, and finding the right configuration of things. Carter had a lot of great ideas with designing of the tickets and adding some color to the website. We really wanted to emphasize the kind of the iconic thing that Saskatchewan is known for, like the Northern Lights and the first homepage picture, some of the city landscape scenes. It was really a great idea to bring into the design of the whole site. And we think it flows really well. There was a lot of things that we tweaked at the very end, and still kind of looking to do maybe a few more.
Yeah, has that been working out? Has that helped people start to be able to buy their tables and stuff like that, and had the intended effect you guys wanted?
Yeah. We've had, I think the first day, what did we have, Justin? 750 views yesterday was our first day.
773, and we sold seven tickets already on the first day. It was
nice.
Well, that's good.
So,
and 10 people from, was it North Dakota?
North Dakota,
yeah.
No, 7. Yeah, 7 from North Dakota.
Bought tickets.
So. Nice.
There we go. Well, how far of a drive is North Dakota?
It'd be 5 hours from here.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are we doing on the 200-foot wooden Gordie Howe that we're going to burn for Hockey Cards?
Well, I thought you were bringing that in the U-Haul or something.
Strap it to the roof.
How do I get that across the border again? How do I explain that one? Does that count as a carry-on bag?
That's carry-on.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it can the matches though.
Well, what's kind of cool about this, I think we did our first conversation along these lines in December, and you guys were pretty much at the grassroots at the very beginning, back at that point, and now we've gone from there in 3 months to we have what you said earlier, 20 between 20-23% of tables sold already, and the event is until October, so that's we're doing good there. And we also have Brian Trottier on board. You've got a website up and running. You're working on a whole bunch of other stuff. So you guys have to be happy with the progress that's being made, or are you still nervous?
Oh, it's been a lot of big key elements that we put into place. We do have some sponsorship now. Dragon's Den Games sponsored the Pokemon tournament space. That was a very big win for us. We felt like if you guys were the first one, I think Trottier was another huge element to them in the Pokemon this month. It was just incredible things to get on board with. I think that alone is gonna really start attracting vendors and people to the event.
Louis, you gonna do the Pokemon tournament?
I'll play. Why not?
How do you play?
Well, you better get your tickets now then, Louis, because they're selling out.
Ooh.
There's only 72 spots on that tournament.
All right, going to the website right now.
Yeah, very, very limited.
I'll play.
So, What have you guys learned in the last month since we talked? Is there any surprises, any kind of curveballs, any like, oh, we didn't know like this fire code thing, or we need insurance for that kind of, all stuff you don't, how do you know what you don't know? When you do something for the first time, there's inevitably, I think, a lot of that happens.
I think this last month has been more focused on getting vendors and getting the website up and going. So the problems like that haven't really come to surface, I guess. I feel like we've been thinking of everything so far. We've been asking advice on a lot of some other people. I feel like it's been a very successful month since we've talked to you guys last. It's really been an overdrive. Like we're at 20, I think it's 20 or 21% fully booked right now. But like there's, like 4 or 5 waiting to pull the trigger, just like, hey, follow back up on next week. We got to figure out some details. So like there's a lot of that back and forth. We're working on getting a venue for next week. We have a meeting for the Saturday Night Live party with Jeremy Lee. So that's going to get secured next week, along with the sponsorship for that. So you can watch on our website when that gets announced. Once again, that website, saskcardexp.ca. Get your tickets there. And we'll also be selling merchandise. So here's the bunny hugs. And that'll be on the website as well. We're working on that hopefully next week. They'll be for sale. And that's also a local product here, a company in Saskatoon we're using. So it's all local and it's exciting and it's coming together. It's pretty nice. We haven't really had any major hiccups yet.
I'm sure you will. I mean, it's just human nature, right? I mean, that's part of, you have to be able to roll with the punches to pull something like this off.
Well, you've said you haven't had major hiccups, so let's get into the nitty gritty here. Now we're 4 months in building this baby, right? What's been, if there have been any major hurdles, and what went smoother than you thought was gonna go?
I would say the major hurdles has been getting vendors to make people believe in us. Okay. Like it's the first show. We want to put on an experience, like something that no one has seen before, in the collecting for 2025, right? It's going to be, this is something that no one's seen. It's going to be a party like atmosphere for all ages, games, autographs, speakers, you name it. Prizes given away on the hour, every hour. We're talking hobby boxes, autograph jersey, pictures, stuff like that. And you can only be entered if you buy or purchase a ticket on the website. That way we can randomize it, the show. And if someone isn't able to pick up the door prize at the show, then we will mail it to them. We'll have all their information, but they're only eligible if they purchase it online.
That's the only way you can randomize it.
Only way we can keep track of it. So that's the benefit of buying online as well. And then the other benefit is if you buy 5 tickets online, well, then you're entered 5 times into the door prizes. So there's going to be approximately 17 or 18 door prizes as of right now. And, at a retail price of like $200 a pop, that's pretty good prizes.
Nice.
So
very cool.
Yeah. And then like I would say the biggest hurdle though, like I said, is getting the vendors. But once the easiest, or not the easiest, but seemed like just went so smooth and was surreal, was Mr. like Brian Trottier, like being able to speak to him and getting him honestly, he was the easiest one to sell on the idea. Like he had so much faith in this and he loved the idea so much that he jumped on without hesitation. He's just, I don't know how many times he told us on the conversation, I love what you guys are doing here. Like it's back to my home province of Saskatchewan. You look at the title of his book, right? So it's all roads lead home here.
All roads lead home. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Have you guys experienced people that, in a good way, are changing their tune a little bit, that maybe were a little resistant at first when you were just 2 random guys that showed up and talked about this big thing, but there wasn't really much tangible behind it, to now with the progress that you've made and having people like Brian Trottier on board, is that have you noticed how that may be shifting people's opinions of what how of what this can be?
100%. Yeah.
We got an anonymous email about somebody about that too, and it's like, wow, I can't believe what you guys are doing. It's incredible. Like you making all the right moves. You're doing some great PR stuff. You're signing the right guys. You're booking the right venue.
Nice.
Good.
Now, is Brian going to be the only autograph signer, or are we working on more people?
No,
We're looking at more.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 more right now. We don't know if both of them will pan out, but we're hoping to at least have another bigger name. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but I represent Baba Louie. We can talk offline. I can tell you that the negotiation. I can't promise the negotiation will be easy. He's very high in demand.
Does he take pride in his autographs?
Oh,
He only signs in crayons. That's one of.
I have lots of those.
So, okay. Well, maybe when we talk down the road, you'll have some. Maybe we'll be another announcement next month. That would be nice. Guys got to get on that. Okay. I want to ask this question before I forget, because I think it's really important. And I want to ask guys every time. When we first talked and we kind of talked about the idea of doing this series, one of the parts that really sold me on it was this: that you guys literally had no clue if you could even do this. I know you believed in it. I know you have a very strong vision, but until you do it, you don't know you can.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that I get, and as we go and we get closer and closer to the date, so I think both of you can answer this. Maybe we'll start with you, Carter, but as of today, how confident are you now that this is going to happen on October 4th and 5th of next year?
I'm 100% confident it's going to happen.
Cool.
With having Brian on board and having the support we're having locally now, the people that were maybes are turning into yeses every day. We're getting more and more traction on our social media. Over 700 visits on our first day of the website. It's really, the local support is really starting to show as well. Like we have vendors from Alberta, and then today we booked our first vendor from Manitoba, Top Shelf Sports Cards, Terry and Roger out of Winnipeg. So I want to give them a little shout out there. So they're traveling 8 hours to come to the show. We're currently talking to some other guys there too, but I'm 100% confident it's going ahead. It's really exciting. It's a great opportunity for the province and the city.
Okay, now I'm going to turn it to you, Justin, and I don't know the answer to this, but you can tell me. Maybe I have a guess, but usually in every partnership, there's a dreamer and then there's the pragmatist. Now, are you 100% confident at this point that this is happening, or are you more where do you feel in the balance of your guys' relationship?
I would have said at the end of last show, I was about 75% there. It's like, it's becoming more real and real every day. But until I actually saw the reaction and how excited Trottier was to come on board, I knew we really grabbed a hold of something here. And it really resonates with a lot of the grassroots people around the communities too. I have friends back home, they're telling all their kids at school, holy man, we got to go to this thing. It's going to be awesome. So it resonates with the kid collector in me too. It feels like I'm doing this for myself sometimes. I want to bring a show to Saskatoon so I can walk around and look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just for you, it's for us. Yeah.
Let's go there now, because what's the card situation in Saskatchewan? Are we gonna have heat at this show? Am I gonna be impressed by the quality
bring your money.
of
just bring your wallets? Yeah, bring your money.
We're gonna have some pretty, I think, higher end vendors there. That's stuff that Saskatchewan I don't necessarily have seen.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
Nice.
that was one of the predecessors of us doing this. We want to bring something to the province that people don't really necessarily want to go coast to coast to see, and expand them that way. Yeah.
So we have a local. We have a local radio news talk star here in the province, and Evan and I have become friends, and he is going to end up booking a booth, but his collection has never been for sale. So he has like a brand new collection that has never seen the light of day. So like there's one vendor, like I personally would just want to go to his table at the start just to, like some of those cards have never, like you're going to see stuff like that. Cards that have never been for sale, or there'll be I know there's some vendors coming in that are big cards, like they have big cards, ones that I can't afford or like I can dream about, right? But yeah, there's some big hitters coming in for sure.
Nice. Is there a particular team that people in the Saskatoon area follow? I mean, assuming, or is it kind of like there's certain states here, like in the United States, where like Iowa, right south of us, they don't have like an NFL team. So half the people are Bears fans, half the people are Vikings fans, some people are Packers fans. Or is it kind of like that in the Saskatoon area where the allegiances are split, or does most people follow like the Oilers or some team like that?
That blue team.
Yeah, it's funny you asked that because Roger today from Winnipeg there who booked, he asked the same thing. What cards do I bring to sell in Saskatoon? And I say, well, that's the beautiful thing about Saskatoon. All the original 6 teams sell like really well here because we don't have an NHL team. Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, like they all, I would say it's equal for fan base here. So like those 3 are the big hitters, and then all the original 6, and then you have everyone else in there too. There's fans from everywhere here because there's no NHL team here per se, So you kind of get your pickings, and like the original 6 are everywhere, obviously, but it's
okay.
You got fans from everywhere here.
So it'd be a good opportunity to sell really any good
No
players,
centralized.
right?
Yeah.
It's not like at the like Quebec City show there or in a Montreal show, it's gonna, bring your shimmy shakes because you're gonna sell lots of Lane Hudson cards at that point. Or that makes
we're very diverse.
All right, well, let's look forward now as we wrap up. Like, what's next? Like, what are the next in the next month before we talk again a month from now? What needs to happen to keep you guys on the good path that you're on?
I think we want to confirm another maybe attraction, be it a big name autographer or other, just to set our schedule a little more too.
Yeah.
And then I think we need to, was it Evan Bray you mentioned?
Yeah.
His cards are being shipped from PSA today, so we're going to have them in hand. I'm really excited to see them.
Nice. What do you think, Carter? What's the big things that you want to see happen?
Yeah, so I feel like in the next month here until the next podcast, really want to focus on getting more sponsorship on board. That seems like it's I thought it would have been easier than that. It's probably the hardest part about it is the sponsorship. It feels like there's lots of applying and lots of it's hard to get your message across through email, and then to get someone to pick up the phone is a different
well, it's also new
story.
And that's a risk to any potential sponsor, right? Is that they want the sure thing with their marketing dollars, and well, that's again where having Brian on board helps a lot, right? Because that adds credibility to what you're doing, but it's still going to be, you're going to have to selling sponsorships will be a lot easier 5 years from now than it is today. And it's just going to be a dogfight, and you just have to be ready and willing to fight the good fight to get them.
Yeah. And I mean, we're down for a good fight. So, I mean, bring it on, let's get her done. And I mean, we sponsorships, and we need more vendors. We want some nice vendors here for the customers, and bring them in and get the collectors of Saskatchewan excited to come to Saskatoon for the largest card show.
We'll keep grinding to the end if we have to. We're not giving up the good fight for the good collector.
Now, Louis and I were talking about our excitement the other day in coming, and something came up, and I know you were a little embarrassed to ask Louis, so I'll ask for you. Are pants required? Because Louis wants to know if he has to wear
pants.
Yeah,
we can put a table inside.
Oh, you haven't seen Louis in his Canadian Speedo? It's pretty funny.
You're wearing a Speedo. Well, it is a family show, though, Louis.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that means pants are required. All right. So
pants are required.
Good for everyone.
As long as you don't have tan lines.
Oh, he does.
Well, it could be a problem. Or actually, right now, October. I don't know. How fast do I lose my tan?
You'll be nicely tanned by then, Louis. Yeah.
It wears off quick, though, brother.
Okay, well, what's the website again? We got to get that out before we let you go.
saskcardexp.ca. Yeah.
Okay, and you can go there to do it. Go there and get your tickets to meet Brian Trottier. You will not regret it, and it's not that expensive either. Like,
No.
if
So,
you
like,
guys have ever been to the National here in the United States, it's ridiculous how much it costs to get, like hundreds of dollars for, what is it, like $60, something like that, or
with the pass to get in, right?
So Brian, if you want to get one autograph from Brian, it is $60, and that includes your admission into the show for the entire weekend, plus all entries into the door prizes. And then if you want an add-on, so say you're buying that $60 original, and then you're like, oh, I want this autographed as well, that's $45. So it's $60 for the first autograph, $45 for an additional autograph, and then if you want it inscribed, it's an extra $10. I mean, so if you want a smiley face or "Hey Louie" on there, then it's whatever, $10, whatever Brian says. And then his book is also for sale on our website. So Brian's gonna autograph the books, and
Got
then
that, Josh. There it is.
You got it right on. Is it autographed?
So cool.
No,
not yet.
Not yet.
Did you read it yet?
Didn't start it. Gotta be.
Can you read?
Can I read?
So I mean, like
40%
for
at a grade 5 level, yeah.
Well, okay, guys, you guys have done an amazing job. I'm very impressed with what you've done. Keep going, and I'm very, very excited. Every time we talk, I get more excited for October to come. And again, you're starting this from nothing. You're two guys who have never thrown a card show in your life, and not only it's not like you're doing like a little church basement with 30 table kind of. You have Brian Trottier coming to sign autographs, and hopefully some cool people too. So congratulations on your success so far, and I can't wait to see what progress we've made a month from now.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Journey. Love the journey.
We appreciate the support and
very much so. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Bye. Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Nice to check in with them. Justin, it sounds like he was recording in a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, he's got feral children, I think. I was like,
that's what it's like with a birthday party at your house.
Yeah. We'll work on a better situation next time. But I think on the audio side that we have like a mastering program that diminishes that a little bit. But a lot of great information. Obviously, these guys are making all the right moves. Holy cow!
Yeah,
I mean,
real deal. They're full steam ahead. That's for sure.
I'm getting really excited to go too.
Me too, man. I just want to go talk to Brian. Do you think he'll go to lunch with us?
Maybe.
That'd be fun. Brian. The way you keep talking about Brian, it's going to feel like you're stalking him. He's just
I don't need another one. All right.
All right. Well, and hopefully they get some more players too that we can have on the show.
Yeah, I heard that. That was pretty cool. I mean, I'm going there for the card show, right, and hang out with my boys. That's the big one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's an extra autograph would be great, but
yeah. Well, what I think is cool too, it's a part of Canada that we probably would have never gone to, right? But now you look at the city of Saskatoon, the photos look amazing. It's like right on the river there. Kind of excited.
Very excited. I can't wait. I can't wait to go on a big hike up in the mountains. It's going to be so fun.
You're going on a hike? You're going to go on a hike, huh?
It's very flat.
Yeah. Good with Phil coming in with the Saskatchewan humor.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We're at the final team for Hobby Mount, or the final active team for Hobby Mount Rushmore. The Colorado Avalanche. Ever heard of them, Phil? Ever heard of the Avalanche?
Yeah, they stole my Nordiques.
We did
one
not.
Of Louis' favorite teams.
We did not save the best for last.
Ooh, wow. A lot of bitterness here. Okay, well, Hobby Mount Rushmore is where we nominate who we feel are the 4 most deserving names to be on each team's Hobby Mount Rushmore based on their stats, accomplishments, awards with that team, their meaning to the franchise and community. Then we add a little wrench into the equation, factoring each player's hobby market. Some teams we've struggled to find 4 deserving candidates, like the Wild. This one's been really interesting for the opposite reason. I think most people can quickly rattle off 5, maybe 6 pretty big names for the an Avs lore, and there's only 4 spots. So yeah, this one might be a little controversial. We'll see.
No, this
Well,
one's
we'll see.
easy. No, there's the top 4 are non-negotiable.
Oh,
If you don't pick the top 4,
all right. All right. So now before the show, Bill, I think you were busy. Louis and I had a very important production meeting. Now I won't lie, it got emotional. We made the difficult but necessary decision to blame Phil for anyone that disagrees with our picks. And
I'll
if
tell
you're
you.
upset,
I'll tell you them right
please
now.
leave. Phil would request you leave lots of comments everywhere so he can see them and respond to them.
I don't. Okay, yeah, go do that.
Yeah,
That's
right, Phil?
fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
that works. That works.
Thanks for taking one for the team, man.
Yeah.
Now,
you
for the
got it.
record, I tried to suggest somebody else, Phil, but Louis insisted that it should be you.
I'm the
So-
best person. I don't read them, so it's good.
Okay. Here is the Colorado Avalanche Hobby Mount Rushmore. Oh, and we're not counting Nordique stats
Nope.
No, of
because
course.
we will probably do like defunct franchises down the road. If not, next week we'll start. So, and in case you're wondering, the franchise moved from Quebec to Colorado so it started in Colorado in the 1995-96 season. So we're picking it up from the story picks up from there. The first player nominated to the Avalanche Hobby Mount Rushmore is Joe Sakic. Is that controversial for you, Phil, or no?
No, that's a good first pick.
All right. 13 of Sakic's 20-year NHL career was spent in an Avalanche sweater in beautiful Colorado. In 870 career games with the Avs, Sakic scored 391 goals, most in team history, added 626 assists, which is second most, and his 1,015 points with the Avs is tops for the moment. He's in franchise history, he's 14 ahead of MacKinnon, or maybe 13 now, so that will soon be passed because MacKinnon tends to rack up points rather quickly. With the Avalanche, Sakic won the Conn Smythe Trophy in 1996, Hart Memorial Trophy in 2001, also the Ted Lindsay Award winner that year, won the Lady Byng in 2001 as well, and had the NHL's best plus-minus in 2001 too. Most importantly, Joe Sakic was a 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Avalanche in 1996 and 2001, and served as team captain for 16 seasons, is regarded as one of the best playoff performers in NHL history. And looking at the hobby, in the past year, about 9,200 Joe Sakic cards have sold on the secondary markets per card letter sales history. Of those sales, 56 were for more than 500 US, and the highest selling Joe Sakic card to date is this 1989 Topps rookie PSA 10 that sold for $4,881 US in March via Golden last March.
Wow.
Mm.
Tops.
Yeah, it's one of the rare examples where Topps, because of an incredibly low pop count, the value greatly exceeds the O-Pee-Chee.
Mm.
Okay, Joe Sakic was number 1.
Hey,
The
hold on.
second
I
nominee.
got something crazy for you. Well, just
Okay.
is in case somebody wants to know, because I ended up going to look it up. You said he the best NHL plus minus in 2001, which was
Yeah.
a plus 45,
Wow.
tied with Patrick Elias.
Okay, well, yeah, you got to throw your devils in there, of course.
You want me to throw my Devils in there? Okay, 1, 2, the top out of the top 5, 4 are Devils, 1 is Sakic.
Yeah, well, your plus minus is going to be high when you play the trap game for 2 decades. No
Yeah.
kidding.
Scored 1.4
Stop.
goals a game.
Anyway.
Okay.
Stop.
The second player nominated to the Colorado Avalanche Hobby Mount Rushmore is Patrick Waugh. And
Right.
he's one of the handful of players throughout this whole series who's appeared on multiple teams. So very, very prestigious award for Patrick Waugh. As a part of the Avalanche franchise, Waugh appeared in 478 games in net, which is the most amongst goaltenders in franchise history. His 262 wins is most in team history as well. 2.27 or 2.27 goals against average, lowest amongst goalies with 50 or more games played. 0.918 save percentage is the 5th highest. And he helped the team win 2 Stanley Cups in 1996 and 2001. He was the Conn Smythe Trophy winner in 2001 as the playoff MVP. In 2021 or 2022, he won the William M. Jennings Trophy for allowing the fewest goals in the NHL and is the Avalanche playoffs wins leader with 81. Most shutouts in franchise history with 18 in the playoffs as well. His number 33 was retired in 2003 and was really his arrival in December of 1995 via the infamous trade from Montreal that transformed the Avalanche into an immediate Stanley Cup contender that first season. One of the greatest postseason goalies of all time, known for his ability to steal games when it mattered the most. Little over 24,000 Patrick Waugh cards sold on the secondary markets last year. According to Colorado sales history, of those sales, 237 were for more than $500 US, and the highest selling Patrick Waugh card to date, maybe a little surprising, is this 2004-05 Ultimate Collection signature logos NHL Shield patch auto 101 BGS 910 sold for $12,000 US in May of 2022.
Nice
So
card.
are we on board so far, Phil?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. This is where the wheels might fall off.
No,
for
I'm not
Phil.
worried. You'll make the right decisions.
I don't know.
Well,
see.
you bet. For your
The
sake,
third
you
player
better hope so.
nominated the Colorado Avalanche Hobby Mart Rushmore is Nathan MacKinnon. What?
Yeah, you
Okay,
made a
here we go.
mistake.
You got to stick with it, Phil.
All right.
Nathan MacKinnon's 12-year and counting career has all been spent by him as a member of the Avalanche. His 858 games, played his third most in franchise history. His 362 goals is third most as well. And his 1,001 points is second only to Joe Sakic. Again, he'll pass him in a week or two, probably. Along with Sakic, they are both the only players to score 1,000 or more points with the Avs. MacKinnon won the Calder Memorial Trophy following his rookie season in 2014, was the Hart Memorial Trophy winner last year, also won the Ted Lindsay Award. In 2020, he was a Lady Byng winner, one-time first All-Star team selection, three-time NHL second All-Star team selection, and helped lead the Avs to the Stanley Cup in 2022. And now, per card ladder sales history, about 11,000 Nathan MacKinnon cards sold on the secondary markets in the past year. 366 of those, pretty high number, for 500 or more US. And the highest selling Nathan MacKinnon card to date is this 2013-14 The Cup RPA out of 99 PSA 8 out of 10 sold for $26,400 US in June 2022.
Again with the grayed out rookie writing, eh? I never noticed that on the 2013s.
Yeah. Okay, now it leaves us to the last spot. And yeah, this was tough.
Well, that's not a big mistake. I mean, maybe they're interchangeable with I mean, you can't go wrong with MacKinnon, but you're a little bit wrong, I think.
Not by the hobby.
So maybe the last spot we went with the young dynamo, baby Bobby Orr, Cale Makar.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What?
I agree. 3 out of 4.
Okay. Now he's just in his 6th season with the Avalanche, but already has the most goals with 110 and points of 411 of any defenseman in team history. He's also more than 100 points ahead of Tyson Barrie, who's second most already, which is crazy.
That's nuts.
Makar won the Calder Memorial Trophy with the Avs in his rookie season in 2020. And his magical 2021-22 season, he won the Stanley Cup, Conn Smythe, and Norris trophies. He's the only Avalanche player to ever win the Norris. And that year, this is a little known stat, he led the league with 42 million Bobby Orr comparisons.
Wow.
Not a lot of people knew that.
I
The
don't
scary
know if
part
I
is
understand it.
you don't
Like
understand.
they compared him to Bobby Orr 42 million times on how he played the game.
You don't remember that? Endlessly.
No.
They would never mention Cale Makar without talking about Bobby Orr.
That's why Josh calls him baby Bobby Orr.
All right. Well, I don't watch Colorado. Can't stand him. So okay.
All right. Well, the scary part about Makar is he's just entering his prime. He's only 26 years old. And so, I mean, you'd have to think if he stays the course, he'll own the Avalanche record books when his career's over. And if you're wondering how or why Makar got our final spot on the Avs Hobby Mount Rushmore, well, it's the hobby. He's been able to break the mold, just like Bobby Orr, and despite being a blue liner, has become one of the biggest hobby stars. And over the past 12 months, about 14,000 Cale Makar cards have sold on the secondary markets per card letter sales history. Of those sales, 378, the most sales of any Avalanche player over 500 or US dollars. And the highest selling Baby Bobby Orr card to date is this 2019-20 Exquisite Collection Rookie Shield Auto 101 BGS 7.5 Auto 9 grade. Sold for $22,800 in April of 2022. So I remember when we started, we said it's really easy to rattle off more than 4 big names. And, now we get to the tough part and the snubs and honorable mentions. It feels dirty leaving Peter Forsberg off of the.
You said it.
And if this was a hockey Mount Rushmore,
Dirty move.
it would
No,
have.
I disagree on the hobby too. I've been to enough card shows where I have a, now this might be why I'm biased, but I have seen an argument, a heavy heated argument over a Forsberg card. I have never seen passionate MacKinnon collectors. If you're listening and you're a passionate MacKinnon collector, I'm sorry. I am sorry, but I've never met you at a card show. I have met many Forsberg hardcore fans. And Forsberg, it also means the world to me because he came back to Colorado after he went to Philly. Like he's a special guy. He's a special player. Huge hobby. 2 cups. Come on. I know MacKinnon's got one.
I get it, but there's like subjective analysis and objective analysis, right?
But I so
I get it. I listen. It's not an easy choice, but when you look at Forsberg has a little more than half of MacKinnon's secondary market sales, right? And so,
yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I just think your friend Phil thinks you're wrong, and that's subjectively wrong.
And it does point out just like in players, there's different eras. Like we talk about how many goals were scored when Gretzky played. There's a little bit of an unfair bias towards current players, given that the hobby's so much bigger and there's more cards and more people buy cards. So had Peter Forsberg been in his prime today, I'm sure his hobby sales would be a lot greater. But when you're doing a hobby Mount Rushmore and you're trying to look at the totality of what they're and use as much, because I didn't want to base my analysis off of one experience at a card show where I met a fanatical Peter Forsberg collector. Right?
No, fair enough. Good point.
Yeah. So, but again, it feels dirty, right? Because he's one of the greatest players of all time. One of the
feels disrespectful.
Yeah. And, and now had MacKinnon not won a Stanley Cup too, right? I mean, it's like,
yeah, but it's almost like, how do you not put MacKinnon on? I mean, he could play. Imagine MacKinnon playing in Forsberg's era. He'd probably dominate even better. So you're not wrong, but you're wrong, right? I'm just saying that.
Well, and Forsberg, listen, he was a 2-time Cup champion, Calder winner, Hart Trophy winner,
loyalist. Went back.
But again, it's 6,500 secondary market sales to about 11,000. That's what it came down to. Other players we can mention would be like Milan Hajduk, 375 goals, 805 points with the team, Stanley Cup champion 2001, Rocket Richard winner 2003, 60 30-goal seasons, number 23 is retired by the team. And then, it's an embarrassment of riches when it comes to Colorado and their relatively short history. You've got Landeskog, Mikko Rantanen, Adam Foote, Sandis Ozolinsh, right? We could go on and on and on about great players that they've had. So, yeah, I will be interested to see what the feedback is. Was MacKinnon the right call over Forsberg? And I think, and it's hard too, because we're all the same age, right? And so my emotional attachment is much stronger to Forsberg than MacKinnon.
Ditto. That's a factor too, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, do you guys should we do the defunct teams next? Do we want to?
Yeah,
let's do them. Quebec.
Okay. Which one should we start with?
You want to do Quebec?
No, we shouldn't do Quebec right after Colorado. Let's do Hartford.
Oh, the Whalers. Okay.
We'll
do the Whalers next week. That'll be a fun one. Okay. Fun. We're going to move on and excited and nervous to talk about that. Nervous, not in a bad way, but just want to. I hate beating the same drum over and over again because it feels repetitive. And we're going to get into this conversation about fake comps because it's very relevant to Phil's current experience. I don't know if Louis, if you've heard, but Phil hit a big card out of Clear Cut.
Oh,
Were you aware of
Is
that?
that so? No.
Yeah.
I may have mentioned it once.
I
or
just
twice.
found out yesterday, so don't feel bad if you didn't know. But I'll give the backstory here and why we want to bring up the idea of fan comps again. So Phil Young, he hit a Bedard canvas rookie auto out of 98 from a box of Clear Cut, a miracle product, a pull from that product for sure. We've talked about that a lot in the show. Now it's been listed twice at auction and wasn't paid for the first time. And well, we're what, 4 or 5 days after the second one and no payment yet. So we're headed pretty clearly to twice left at the
24 hours
altar.
to go. 24 hours.
Yeah. So, I don't think you're real confident it's going to get paid.
No.
And obviously it sucks for you, Phil, and I feel bad for you. It's no fun
It's
to be in
terrible.
this situation. And as we were talking about it the other day, because we've also noticed that it's not the only copy. Remember, this is out of 98, so it's a great card, but there's almost 100 of them that's been up for sale. And so we looked up the sales history reports and found that there's been 5 sales total. 2 of them Phil's. Right now, again, the same comp tools everyone uses: eBay sales history or Card Ladder sales history, which I like, 130 point market movers, whatever your tool of choice. Right? They all say the same thing. And since all 5 were on eBay, I decided to verify in Terapeak, and shocking, 0, as in none, of the 5 sales have actually been paid for. And it's, the thing we go back to on this, here's all the sales.
Sales.
And it says sales, right? And we'll get into that. But this is an issue, and we've started talking about this 2 years ago, that costs collectors, like all of us, money every single day. We're needlessly spending money because comps are being consistently overvalued.
Mm-hmm.
And what blows my mind is nobody cares. We're kind of in this era a little bit, and I'm not saying we're super innocent on the side, but like the Pitchfork Nation, right? It's every week the hobby is
outraged
at some company because of whatever Whatnot's doing, or this, that, or whatever issue, CT scanning, right? Whatever the issue du jour.
It's never
And
this, though. It's
not
never
that those
this.
issues, never this, and not that those issues aren't important. But
I'll have that.
But does CT scanning, does that affect everybody in the hobby? No, it affects the guys that have 25 grand to buy a case of 2005 The Cup. This issue costs all of us money every day.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Yeah,
and I want to get into why later, but
I would say nobody cares by far. Like it's not like, well, most people don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody.
No.
Like I didn't care before 3 weeks ago as much. I was much more aware and educated, but now it's annoying. I'm annoyed. Like I'm annoyed. I don't want that card. It's a headache.
And if you're still not like connecting the dots, here's the problem with this. So let's say this weekend you're at a local card show, and this card is awesome. This Bedard Clear Cut, it's a beautiful card. If you want a nice Bedard rookie auto, this would be a great one to own. And let's say there's a booth and someone's got one at a table, and you're like, wow, I think I want this card. Well, now, like most every other collector, you have to figure out, well, what should I pay for? What's it worth? Right? The guy's got a sticker for $2,500. Well, I'm going to look up comps. I'm going to go to a sales report, reports that say sales on them. Right? And I'm going to see that, over the past 3 weeks, this card is sold, quote unquote, 5 times between $2,000 and $3,000 US. Well, I don't know about you guys, but if that's the case, $2,500 seems like a fair price, at least to start a negotiation.
Right. Yep.
The problem is this card is never sold ever publicly.
Nobody knows what it's worth.
Nobody knows what it's worth. That these are, and if you're still wondering, well, how can a sales on a sales report not be sales? It's because in eBay's sales history, which they call it sales history, it's not a sales report. It's misnamed. It's a misnomer. I don't know if intentionally or not. We're not going to question anyone's motives because I I don't know what's in people's minds. But what eBay sales history is it's a completed listings report. It means that the listing was completed, but it does not it doesn't guarantee that money was exchanged and definitionally a sale occurred. That's why, like, if you followed the show for a long time, and every time I quote an eBay sale, I very probably annoyingly say, and verified by as paid for in Terapeak, it's for this reason exactly.
Yeah. This isn't a sales
Because
report.
you have to verify every sale, because if you're at the card show and you see the Bedard clear cut auto for $2,500, this report that says sales, right? So I'm not calling anyone stupid here. Why would you not assume that these are not sales? It says sales on the report, but they're not.
Everybody does. Even people that are at card shows and look this up and they got FOMO and their heart's running and the lights are going and their buddies are like, yeah. The sale's good enough. We're lazy people. Humans are lazy. 100%, man. We don't effort aversion, right? Terapeak's clunky, boring, pain in the butt on mobile. No one's going to that. Sales are going good enough. It's good. It's quick. It's painless. It's so funny. Effort aversion.
And if you think that this is like, go ahead, Louis. Before
there's not enough people throwing out verified sales. Not enough people talk about it. We talk about it all the time. Like you said, you always say verified is sold in Terapeak. I didn't know what the hell Terapeak was for a very long time. Then I finally found out about it. Great tool, but nobody pushes it or stresses it that somebody might have bid on this card for and won an auction for $3,000, but they haven't given the auction that money yet. Yeah. And I've watched more than my share of card content stuff. And it's not just for hockey, it's for all of them. But nobody mentions it. You all see them picking up their phones and I'm going to check whatever site and
130 point or
market
card
movers
ladder,
or whatever. But nobody ever brings up the fact that the card was paid for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it can't definitionally meet a sale, right? I mean, you can't call it a sale if no money is transacted. It's like being at a store and bringing a product up to the register and then leaving it on the counter and walking out and never paying for it. That's not a sale. So let's stop with this, with this sort of misnaming of that. And now, again, this is not a conversation about blame. And there's a number of companies that, because there is a root cause, and it isn't 130 point, it's not Card Ladder, it's not Market Movers, because the only reporting engine that eBay offers an API to is eBay sales history, which again is not a sales report. It's a completed listings report. So they don't get access. There's no API into Terapeak. Otherwise, they would use it. Right. And Card Ladder goes as far as they manually the best cards verify. That's why you get the little green check mark. They verify each as actual paid sales. That's what the check mark means in Card Ladder. And they're the only people that I know of, and I could be wrong, but that I know of that go through that step, and they do thousands of cards a day manually. It's horrible. Right. And so it's not about any of these reporting tools. It's the best data we have. And now if you're thinking, oh, so what? This is one card. It's over 3 weeks. Hold on. Because the next thing that everyone really needs to understand is how pervasive and systemic this issue is. I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll say it again. I'm sorry
again,
if I'm
Joshy Poo.
being boring and repetitive. One of the things we do is we do record sales and first public sales every day. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't have multiple record sales that I don't report because they weren't paid for. And to illustrate this, and we could go for 16 hours and give examples, and it would be the easiest thing in the world to do, but I prepared a couple of other ones. So if you go to any of the sales tools and look up in the past 3 years, the top 10 eBay sales for Leon Draisaitl. Okay. Of the 10 top sales, 2 have been paid for.
That's insane.
And these are sales that go back up to 3 years, and they still live on these reports, because when eBay feeds Card Ladder and Market Movers and 130 Point, there's no sort of, oh, this was never paid for, take it off sort of feedback loop in their API. So they are perpetually on there. So obviously what that does is it gives you a very overinflated view of what the value of Leon Draisaitl's market. And it's not just that. So the other thing you got to keep in mind, it's not just the top 10 sales. If it's like there's so many unpaid listings in the middle tiers and lower tiers as well, right? That it creates a perception that's not real in the market.
Yeah.
Kale McCarr. Same thing. Top 10 eBay sales over the past 3 years. Only half are paid for. So 5 of the 10 top sales are paid for.
Josh, like psychologically, we're wired to seek out like what confirms our hopes and like gloss over inconvenient truths, right? Like the fact that none of these auctions are paid for, this bias makes it easy to like ignore Terapeak's reality check, like when it's kind of a pain in the butt to use, you kind of like trick yourself, right? Psychologically. It's I don't know. We don't like inconvenient truths. And we want to believe our cards are worth the most financially. And remember like my PSA thing? Like, look, I always knew in the back of my head that wasn't a 10, but it's a PSA 10. Screw you. I willfully ignored. I feel like maybe something like that's going on. Like 8 out of 10 Draisaitl top 10 cards not to be paid for. Isn't that the biggest issue in our hobby right now, especially for hockey, more than CT scanning, more than like what would be big? Like, remember all the outrage for cleaning your cards? This is 10 times, or this is the biggest elephant in the room, I think, for checking comps that aren't legit. It's scary.
This is the
Austin
biggest.
Matthews. Oh, go ahead.
This is the biggest thing in our hobby, which lays the foundation, I guess I'll call it, of what we sell and what we pay for a card.
Yeah.
And when there's no other way to do it, but when it says sales, most people that aren't educated enough on it aren't going to know the difference, and they're going to get snake bit.
Yeah, it says it's not a sale, right? And Austin Matthews, top 10 sales in eBay the last 3 years, 4 are paid for, 6 are not.
Oh my God. Okay, maybe that'll resonate with people. That's a big one up here. Guys, Austin Matthews top 10 cards in the last 3 years, only 4 were paid for. Like, shouldn't your jaw drop to the floor? But I feel like most people listening know this. And they're like, it's a part of the hobby. The hobby loves a good uproar, but why not here? Yeah. Maybe because we need a clear villain, like we don't have a single focal point. Other than
and I don't know if it's like, I don't look at it that way. Like, I don't need a villain.
I'm not saying we need one. I'm saying maybe that's why. There's not one thing we can grab.
Well, the root cause in all this is very clear, and it's not to point a finger. It's eBay. And it just is. It's just the fact. And because number one, by publishing completed listings under sales reports and providing an API to other companies and listing completed listings that are not paid for and therefore are not sales, you create a false perception. And then beyond that, and we don't have to get into this whole side of it, but it's very germane to the whole argument, is sort of the lack of preventative measures that they have for people to win auctions and not pay for cards. It's such an it's just ridiculous. And and again, the other thing that kind of irks me, and I get it, they're our sponsor, but when people like blame Slab Sharks, Phil, for having a card listed twice and it not being paid for, this sucks for Slab Sharks just as much for you, because they're doing work and not getting paid. They don't get paid.
Yeah, I got an email actually about that, about how it was like kind of, I didn't even respond. I don't know how to, has nothing to do with, you think Slab Sharks doesn't want to not get paid? Nobody wins when the flake who clicked commit to buy doesn't pay. Nobody wins.
And over the last couple of weeks, they've been actually proactively deleting bids.
Yeah, I asked them
Right.
to.
So
I
they've gone above and beyond, to try to get
Mhm.
paid themselves and to prevent this from happening. And so I think that there's two. I don't know why eBay does this. I'm not going to pretend to. I don't want to make a judgment. I don't want to make an emotional sort of accusation or anything. I try to think of everything very logically. And obviously, it's not in their self interest at this point to change it. And I think part of that, okay, let's play the blame game. If you want to blame anyone, let's blame the hobby for not caring
Mhm.
and not, again, they act in their own self interest. So if people demanded that this be corrected, right, and consumers vote with their wallet, then eBay probably would do something about it. So, again, I don't want to get into the company thing, but I think the how the data is reported and the fact that there's like Phil, like you and I were brainstorming on, it's like if you're gonna bid $2,000 on a card, maybe they should hit $500, like a quarter of your bid should be charged immediately. And if you
Yeah,
don't win the auction, it's refunded.
like a retainer, you know?
Yeah, you got to do something, or that it's instant pay, or it's like if you rent a hotel room, they're gonna they're gonna or like when you check into a hotel, I mean, they do the damn it deposit hold on your card,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you haven't stayed overnight yet.
and if you're not willing to do that for an eBay listing, then you're probably not serious enough to buy the
Yeah.
card.
And that's what I love. Like I like how we're skimming the eBay thing, but eBay is they're burying the truth in Terapeak, which requires 3 to 5 extra steps, painful
Yeah.
on mobile, right? Like they're what's the word? This might sound harsh, but like you're exploiting our trust in you. Like you're exploiting our trust in you, eBay, as an authority. And like they know humans have a tendency to skim things rather than really sink into it, right? It's
Yeah.
so the data is misleading. It's an accurate, the accurate data is in a sludge. And they let's not go there. Why do they know we won't go there? I don't think it benefits them or doesn't. I just don't see why it's not important. It's very important. Collectors aren't dumb. We're just human, right? Like,
Sure.
like we're just human. And most people won't bother to look at Terapeak. And I'm sorry, but it feels like an exploit in our trust.
Well, and
I
I
don't know.
think that's the big takeaway in all this whole conversation, and the biggest positive impact we can have by telling your experience and pointing out, how at least we think how big of an issue this is that if you are buying cards and you're using eBay comps and not verifying those sales in Terapeak, I promise you, you're way overpaying for your card.
Yeah. Empower the listener. Empower. If we educate one by one and you educate one by one, your kids like cards, make sure you tell them this. It's a great learning moment to be an adult, right? If your kid's like 13, son, when you're checking, it's perfect. It segues nicely. Check. Make it part of the hobby. Make it part of your steps. You're not lazy, good listener. You're not lazy. You can do it, man. You
And
can
it is
do it. It'll
annoying
make
at shows. You have to, it's like really tiny. It's not
Oh, it's
mobile
horrible,
friendly,
dude.
but you have to do it because again, your card 2,500 US would seem like a very reasonable price at a card show. Only though that this is
Yeah,
actually
it's
never
not.
sold.
It's not.
So
And
and it's a
listen,
made up number.
I guarantee you there's some people right now being like, oh, there goes my, they're 100%. There's 1 to 5% of the hobby right now that is using this to make money. 100%. I know one. I know a guy who does this. Like, as long as he doesn't pay for it, but he has a comp, he'll buy a case, he'll get a card. Now, it's been a couple of years. I'm not friends with this person, but he'll buy a case, he'll hit the big card, he'll post it, his buddy will buy it. It's a sale. It goes to the show, sells the, like, it's an easy system. It's not hard if you're a bit of a jerk. It's not hard at all. Now, I don't think that's why eBay's letting it happen. Like Josh said, I don't think it's up to us to decide why it's happening, but it needs to change. You can think of why it's happening. I'm not going to get conspiracy.
Yeah, I
on
just
it.
don't know enough to
Yeah,
get
I don't
very
know. That's what
like
I'm
I don't
saying. I'm
know
not
how
educated. I don't-
international auction laws work, if you can charge, if it's even legal to charge somebody when they bid, or right. So that's why I don't want to go too far down that
No, you're
because then
right.
you kind of don't know what you're talking about a little bit in that regard. But I'm very confident that if you don't use Terapeak on eBay sales, that I don't think anyone in the hobby comps more cards than I do. And I'm very comfortable saying that, and this has been for 3 years a massive issue, and it's not getting better, and it's not going away.
Can we
And
say?
then
Hold on. Can we say eBay has a role to play here? We're not picking on them, but you are an authority. You
they're the
have
only ones that can fix it, though.
Yeah, and you have a beautiful platform, but by labeling completed listings as sales history, like I said before, you're burying the truth. You're like, well, you're burying the truth in a 3 to 5 step other platform.
Even if they changed the name to the eBay completed listing report,
that would be a good start, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think you're on mute too, Louis. Just so you know, next time you want to chime in. I think you've tried to say things a couple times.
He's like, why aren't they talking to me?
They're ignoring me.
Well, all I was going to say when I wanted to chime in there was when we do, well, you guys do it. I'm in the background after the fact, but your weekly top fives, I've had to look up cards for Josh before to put together a top 5 list. There's times I'll go through 9, 10, 11 cards
before you find one that's paid for.
Before I get to a card that's paid for. It might take 30 cards to make a top 5 list because I'm making sure everything is verified as that has been paid for. So we don't give you guys watching it BS information on what this card sold for. So out of 5 cards, it might take me 25 or 30 cards to get 5 that are verified.
We should bring up cheap cards too. Like if a card sold for $55, that might have not been paid for too. I feel like we've only been saying big numbers. It's all cards, guys. All cards. There could be a guy out there selling Dazzlers for $15, and we all know certain Dazzlers aren't worth $15, but the comps might say they are, right? Like, don't be naive to people that are a little bit jerky, putting in hard work to do bad things like this. There's no doubt in my mind. There's hustlers out there right now. They're like, oh, these Gongshow guys suck. What are they saying right now? We're ruining your hustle,
I don't know what the answer is like. And again, I think it would be nice if Terapeak was just user-friendly and the definitive source and that they got rid of sales history.
Terapeak should be an app. Why don't they just make Terapeak a separate app? There, eBay, I solved your problem. You don't even have to pay me. Just make Terapeak usable and in an app.
Well, and I'm not a database administrator by any means, but I worked in corporate tech long enough to know that when you have data, the rule 1 is one source of truth. The fact that eBay has 2 different databases that report differently sales on their platform is odd. And I know that Terapeak they acquired, but it was a long time ago. And there's been plenty of time to integrate and replace. So again, I don't know why that is the issue. And then, I think the other thing that I want to maybe talk for a minute more on is the whole why doesn't the hobby care? And the only conclusion I can come to is the same you did, is that we're all terrified that our cards really aren't worth what we think they are.
Yeah, I always think of that, man. I always think that. I accept that my cards are worth nothing to what I've paid for. I also accept that's not the normal way people are collecting. So I have a little bit stay out of this conversation, but I do see a lot of people who think their cards are I think they're a little inflated, and I think this is helping that, right?
And this just kills it's so important, for you to hit that Bedard clear cut to maximize the value of it, right? If you want to get the most for it, when it's a card you don't want, everybody
auction, that's the best way.
It's the best way, but timing is so important. And you open the card on release week, you put it in the next Slab Sharks auction, and now so much time has passed because there's not a good enough system to prevent people from winning the auction and not paying, that it's literally going to cost you thousands of dollars. Nobody's going to throw up,
well, my 3K offer is gone. Yeah, I don't blame the guy at all.
The underbidder, you had a $4,000 underbidder with a lot of a huge, over 1,000 ratings.
Yeah. It's 40.
Maybe that person would have paid. And like, that's one of the things like when you brainstorm potential solutions, it's like, I think after you get, or how do you guys feel about if you win an auction, eBay gives you a 72-hour
Mhm.
clock, and if you don't pay in 72 hours, the underbidder can, and whoever
Next
pays
guy
first
gets
gets it.
Yeah.
Or like if you go to a real auction, like where you buy like musical instruments and you don't pay once, you're never allowed in that auction again. Right? I've been to a couple like many years ago. They're not messing around, right? So why is it okay? Is it because it's like internet fun money? It's not real when the person hits confirm? Like what's going on there? Oh man, you people, some of you folks weren't raised right or something. I don't know. Like how do you commit to something and not do the thing? What's other than collusion? Whatever the reasons are.
Never in
man.
my life have I won or bought something on eBay and not paid for it. Never.
What, like I always say, you don't understand something you wouldn't do. That's why I'm loud and animated, because it just blows my mind. I don't get it. It's like a character issue. Like the fiber of your character is broken. Is that too drastic? I don't know.
Well, and until a change is made, this is not going to go away, because
it'll never go away.
It's a system that makes it easy to manipulate the market. It makes it easy, and there's no consequences. There's none. It'll
never change, Josh. It'll change when, I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you. It'll change when eBay loses $1 the next quarter than the previous one. That's it. That's
they're the only people that can change it. I mean, so again, you're not picking on them. I just don't want to get into motives.
No, we don't have to. But it won't change until they lose money. That's it. Listen, what Not just proved, there is no moral integrity in business. There isn't. There isn't, man. You're not going to lose $150,000 revenue a month because some guy said something bad. I'm talking about the Whatnot backyard breaks. Sure. eBay's not going to lose money on this, or they're not going to fix it until they lose money. That's it. I don't care what PR campaign any company says. The almighty dollar is all that matters to people that are above and in boardrooms, because they're smart. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter. We care about you. No, you don't. Every Allstate commercial.
I mean, you can even take the cold perspective of that. If you're a public company and you're a C-suite executive, your fiduciary responsibility is to return value to your shareholders. So it's their responsibility is, that's their job.
Totally.
Right. So
it's frustrating, as us, like, all three of us collect very different ways, but we're all more collectors. I'm sure most people listening, guys, it's frustrating. It's very. When do you see Josh flustered? Never. He's flustered. It's a flustering topic. Yeah.
I just hate the idea that people, I mean, a lot of the focus is on, because it's naturally interesting, and that's how we're wired as human beings, the 40, 50, 60, $70,000 sales, right? We kind of talk about those a lot, but most collectors, 99%, are everyday working people that have limited amount of money because they're adults and they have families and other responsibilities in life, but love the hobby. And so that their fun money is very treasured. And to knowing that you're paying $200 for a card that's really worth $100 because of all these reports that say sales but aren't really sales, that kind of breaks my heart, man.
It's hard. It's sad. Like it's collectors trust eBay because it's convenient. Okay, we ignore Terapeak because it's not convenient, and then we almost like lean on each other to keep like this illusion alive. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's we all know something's off, but we don't talk about it, right? We're like abused little children.
Yeah. So if we can create a little bit of awareness, I think this conversation is worth it. If we've convinced anyone to, believe me, like I said, I comp all day long. We do so much research on the show. We do all these posts, and I have to look up every single sale twice. And is it fun? No. But it's just part of the nature of using these tools, right? And so I hope that we've made a compelling argument to not trust any quote unquote sale on eBay that is not verified in Terapeak. And if you don't know how to use Terapeak, there's a million YouTube videos. Go watch one. It will save you money. And then you just have to tell people, whether it's at the card show or you're negotiating online to say those what the sales you're quoting me are not sales. And it's black, it's
And
not
stand
even up for
strong.
debate.
Listen, you're not in the wrong. Don't be shy. Stand strong for that. The dealer, you know what? The dealer might be upset and he might not want to deal with you. Walk around the show a few times, come back. He'll be fine. He's just a fellow human who's absorbing new information that his card isn't valued at what he thought. You're in a tough spot,
Mm-hmm.
Try not to ignore it. I like those moments personally.
And then it's really tough too. Like who knows what your Bedard is? I mean, there's no.
I have no idea. I just wanted a trade. I just freaking wanted a card back. I'll take. Man, anyway. Yeah. Like it sucks for me. I don't need that money. I'd like that money. I don't need that money. I want to trade that card more. I had a nice offer. The timing didn't work out. It's just everybody's time is wasted by some schmuck who has some hidden agenda.
Just reach out. If you got any questions, reach out to us through something or whatever. We can help you through it. Let's show you how to use it.
Buy smart. Okay.
Buy smart.
We got to move on to new product releases, which is brought to you by our friends and partners at Mint Inc. If you're planning to go to the expo this spring, you should make it a point. Check out Mint Inc.'s flagship store in Vaughan. It's crazy nice. We've been there. Store of the future, I would call it. Card shop of the future, many would say. They do it all there. You can get hobby boxes, singles, consignment. They'll buy your collections. You can submit cards to grading. Kind of a one-stop shop. They have 2 locations actually in Greater Toronto and the Davenport area as well as Vaughan. Like I said, you should definitely check them out. And then just very announced, hot off the press, guys, the Mint Inc. Saturday night trade night is back for the Spring Expo. There'll be a live DJ, breaks. You can, of course, meet people, connect, trade away. We were there in the fall. It's right there at the International Center, Saturday night, April 26th, starting at 6 p.m. There's a $5 admission, but all proceeds go to support the Mackenzie Health Foundation, very passionate cause that Johnny Amendola has at Mint Inc.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sure, you're paying a couple bucks to get in, but you're supporting a good cause. And yeah, I can't wait to check it out.
Can I make a public service announcement here?
Sure.
On this?
Yeah.
Just a heads up to anybody that has a booth or is at the show. If you leave the show when it closes
You can't
to
get back.
go to this, bring everything you need to take with you because you cannot get back in.
Yeah. Oh, is this what this? Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah.
Remember when the security guard and don't ask the security guard how to get back to your car because if he doesn't like your face, he'll tell you to go the wrong way.
The long way.
Oh my God. It took me
And like in the rain, you walk 6 miles because that's a big building to walk
Yeah.
around.
He was like, don't worry, buddy, all for you. And I was like, that was a weird comment. And then he showed me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Louis, you know Phil, right? You
right
met
here.
Phil?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you hear the latest on him? So
I'm right
he's getting
here.
all like earthy and granola bars and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I guess he applied to some spiritual commune.
No,
He might be moving
Oh.
to Yashardhara Ashram, it's in British Columbia, so he's staying in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
It was founded in 1963 by Swami Sivananda Radha. It's a spiritual retreat and intentional community located on the shores of Kootenay Lake, where they focus on
Oh.
yoga, self-reflection, and sustainable living.
But that's that
Uh,
beautiful place over by Vancouver.
Yeah. So apparently he applied to be their pickleball instructor.
Pickleball.
So-
I'm not trying to be the best at exercise, like I always say.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of sustainable living, right?
Mhm.
The only worry he had was making sure, that when a new hockey release comes out, that he would have some boxes to open. Because I don't think there's an LCS at Yashardhara Ashram.
Mm.
But I reminded Phil that Mint Inc., via their website, mintinc.ca, they can ship to all the new releases anywhere in Canada. And have good prices, great service. And you know what he did? He just looked at me and he went, namaste, bowed, and then he moved. And it lasted 3 days, and then he moved back. But
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
it
but-
gave him the courage to follow his dreams and move to a spiritual commune. So
The guru kicked me out.
the guru
Mhm.
kicked him out.
Bummer.
Yeah.
All right, 23-24 premiere, big release week, Phil.
Big one.
A
Yeah.
little
On
bit
the hood.
jacked up for this
Yeah.
one.
These
Ooh,
keep coming. So we had 23-24 EX 2000 last week. Now it's another Bedard release, 23-24 premiere. Premier as well. It's a Premier set, right? It's one of the premium sets that Upper Deck produces each year. The complete Premier checklist, of course, is on hockeychecklist.com.
Mhm.
12% better than Beckett now. That's what I heard. Rumor. The base set is of 23 Premier, has 150 cards broken down into 3 components, Phil. There's base veterans, which is 90 cards, legends, 10 players on the checklist, and rookies. There's 50 rookies. Now, base veterans is all numbered to 299, and there's 3 parallels. There's gold out of 65, ruby out of 35. So here's our boy tummy injury Kirill with his ruby. Nice looking card. And then there's a platinum 101. The legends base are all numbered to 99. There's 3 parallels as well. The gold, though, is 25. The ruby's out of 10, and then the platinum's 101 as well. So the players on the veteran or the legends checklist are Patrice Bergeron, Nordiques legend, Dominic Hasek, Steve Yzerman, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, Mark Messier, Jaromir Jagr, Gordie Howe, Joe Sakic, and Phil Esposito.
Did you say Patrice Bergeron, Nordiques legend?
This is being a dick.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
If you don't know I'm capable of that by now, then
No, it was so dry. I was just, I don't know, picking a hangnail, and then you said that.
Base rookies, I said there's 50 players on the checklist. The base are out of 399. There's more parallels for rookies. There's bronze out of 199, which is
no one wants bronze.
Yeah. Gold out of 65, ruby out of 49, rose gold out of 25, purple out of 10, and platinum 101.
Yeah,
so
cool.
That's the base set for Premier. There's a number of auto parallels in the set. So you have veteran autos, which are 1 in 4 boxes. There's super short print and super short print. So here's a Draisaitl auto. Now, do you like the base design? There's a little more color this year.
I'm gonna have to see it. I really like the not color in it last year.
Okay. There's Legends gold autos. These look nice. It's a nice Wayne auto.
It's a nice Wayne. Is that sticker, man? No, eh?
No.
I know,
but they had to like change the surface.
Yeah, I know. I need to see Premiere in hand for sure. But these look pretty good. Yeah.
These are out of 25 or 10. Here's a good one. Here's a Legends auto set. It's exemplary stamps. It's a little hard to say, but
that flow.
These are all out of 10. There's a gold 101 parallel. So there's 14 players on the checklist, including the original baby Bobby Orr, Eric Lindros, Joe Sakic, Mike Modano, Mike Modano. You're gonna have to get that.
Yes, Lord.
Patrick Waugh and Wayne Gretzky, of course. So again, there's a bunch of other auto sets too. You have to go to hockeychecklist.com to check them all out.
Mm-hmm.
I think, now when you think of Premier, it's known for a couple things. And the first one are the acetate RPAs. So these are numbered out of 249 or 99. I really like the design of these cards this year.
I agree. And they're nailing it perfect with Parkhurst and Stature, just the right amount of patch. Looks good.
Mm-hmm. Well, some serious hockey mouth from Adam Fantilli there.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's trying to swallow a grapefruit. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
If I was Adam, I'd be calling my agent to call Upper Deck. Like, yeah, you're gonna pull that.
Now, I think my second favorite. So this is my favorite card in Premier. My second favorite are the Super Rookies, and this year's tribute or retro, whatever we call them, is from 2003-04. It's not my favorite Super Rookies design. The patch window is weird, but yeah. I do like these cards, and the base are out of 99 or 49, depending on the rookie. And then there's a gold parallel. It's either out of 5 or is a 101. So
the Super Rookie's usually on the left side, though.
Yeah, that's the design. I can't remember what year that is, but that's my favorite design too. So they just picked a different year this year.
Cali Dave's a big collector of Super Rookies.
He is. Yeah. Another, I guess I'll call this one interesting patch auto set is the Premier Focus. There's versions for both veterans and rookies. Each has a gold parallel, like the Wyatt Johnson we're looking at. What do you think of this one?
It's spiffy. Yeah, I like the black and gold.
It's like a sniper's looking at.
Yeah, I was trying not to say a little crazy in the crosshairs there. Yeah. I'm really excited to open this. I'm excited to open it. It's well made, good quality cards.
No, wait till we get to the price. We'll see if that changes.
You're gonna hate Friday, Phil.
Yeah, the last cards we'll review is another Premier Hallmark. It's their big, and big is a word chosen on purpose. They're patch cards. So the mega patch cards come in a few different forms. There's chest. Here's a commemorative logo with flower, Marc-Andre Fleury, big Minnesota patch there. Another version would be the rookie patch-tacular. These are out of 25. Come in multiple versions too. Chest, shoulder logo, and there's a black logo patch 101. So for patch collectors that don't need the auto, I think that these are probably the best just patch cards you can find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, throughout the year. Again, there's a ton of other sets in 23-24 Premier. Get the complete list at hockeychecklist.com. Now, if you pick up a hobby box this week, Phil, so when you open your box, here's what you can expect to get in a box. Okay, you ready? You're going to get one autograph or one autographed jersey or patch card, one rookie or veteran or one autograph or autographed jersey card, one rookie or veteran autographed patch card, two non-auto memorabilia cards, one numbered non-auto memorabilia base set veterans or base set legends card, and one numbered non-auto memorabilia base set rookie card.
That's cool. This sounds exciting. Lots of variety.
You can pre-order in Canada at Mint Inc. Boxes are selling for $4.70 Canadian.
And it's purple. I hate purple.
Why?
Are tariffs like a thing? Because in the US, it's $2.55 US.
You're gonna put this on tariffs? This is Bedard tax. I don't even care. I don't care what this is.
No, but why is it $4.70 in Canada and $2.55 in the US?
Dude, I don't know. I'm getting ready for my season. I'm not paying attention to nothing going on. I haven't had a headache in like 3 weeks. This is great. I don't know.
Yeah,
It
no
sucks that
politics.
it's so expensive and
politics free in 2025.
Oh my god, no, it's actually every day is easier to not just audiobooks, big fan.
Super oblivious. That's how I
man. Well, I don't have time. I have so much to get ready for my landscape season, but 470, like that's just
that's
bent
steep.
over, man. Like what is going on?
Yeah.
Anyway,
overall thoughts though, do you like, aside from the price, do you like the set?
Yeah, I like the way it looked. Yeah, I was a very, very big fan of last year. Very 22-20. Sorry, the previous release. 22-23 Premier is top 3 sets of the year. I loved it. I would love to buy some. Well, my boy Jake Sanderson's in it, right? So
there you go.
Yeah.
What do you think, Louis? You a fan of the set?
I like the way it looks. I really want to see it in the hand though.
I like the way it looks.
Alrighty. Well, we'll see. Can't wait to see breaks and people opening boxes and all the hits.
It's a good break to watch too, because it's pretty quick, but there's still Premier's a fun break, and then you don't get all the ultimate weirdos and then the chat. Oh, they're a different breed, those guys. Do you think it's a 1-1 shield? I'm like, I don't know.
All right, we ready for mailbag?
Let's go.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, first one from Discord, Card Futures. I swear to God, we don't pay people to do this, although it's not a bad idea. But
what?
He says hockeychecklist.com question.
Oh.
When I find a card on the site and I want to purchase, I click on the eBay link and go to the search. It is great, but I'm easily distracted. To support this, do I need to buy the card that I clicked the link for, or can I buy any card after opening eBay through the link? Promise you, this is not unplanned.
No.
So you can buy, if you want to support the checklist site, which is massively appreciated because it costs a lot of money. And there's the eBay link in every card profile when you expand the card details. Any card you buy on eBay within 24 hours, it supports the site. So you don't have to buy that card. You just have to access their eBay site through one of those links.
So go to our website, pick any random guy. If you got to go to eBay to buy sneakers, click on the eBay link in that guy, go over to eBay, and then find your sneakers or your door panel or your pots and pans or your hockey cards, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you for taking that extra step. It means a lot. Discord, CT Hockey 913. Can someone please put together a show like Chasing Cardboard that is focused on hockey cards? We know there are enough hockey cards in Canada to make a show like this incredibly interesting. Like, I don't know, maybe Jeremy Lee. I'm kind of sad that they didn't mention you. I would love to see a show of you going into people's houses and like knocking over all grandma's nicknames.
No. I'm
or
not
something
klutzy.
like
Well, I'm klutzy. I would love this. Okay, I'm going to give her a go here. My absolute dream is to do exactly what Ty Wilson does on Chasing Cardboard. He's the Chasing Cardboard guy.
Yeah.
I feel I could do it a lot different than him, but similar and maybe more fun. I find Ty is a very serious individual. He actually reminds me of my old youth group leader. I don't know. And so here's the big problem. Okay, my dream, if I won $50 million, I've told Josh and Louis this 1,000 times, I would get in my truck. I'd probably buy a nicer SUV like a 4Runner or something, and I would just travel Canada in the smallest towns. That's all I want to do. Now, here's the problem. Buying lots, I don't have that kind of money, man. Hasselhoff's going to school. I got a brother to take care of. The cat doesn't stop eating. I don't have that bank account. I don't have Wilson's bank account, but I still would love to do it. I still will love cards. I feel like a kid. It makes me happy. I'm going to live longer. I would love to travel Canada to do that. But just to give you a sample size, my quick trip, my 3-day trip to Quebec cost me just under $2,000 to get there. Hotel, gas. I don't have a small truck, right? So like, rent a car, Phil. I've tried it. It sucks. Everything sucks. I like my truck. I don't want to drive the car. So that's a lot of money for a guy like me. I had a blast. I made a great video. I made people happy. I was happy. It was a great trip. But all said and done, it cost me $2,000. You want to fund me? I'll do it. But I'm not well off enough, and I'm not ambitionally strong enough right now to be peaking in that type of bank account. So it takes money. I don't have lots of money. It takes a lot of money to do that. But I think that's a great idea, CT. I do.
Well, he sells the cards. That would be you don't want to sell cards.
I still need a $50,000 bankroll to get this idea going. And I could bring Sylvain. He would know. He'd be good for the Modern. I could call. Yeah. We could make a whole show of it. Jeremy would always be. Imagine Jeremy on FaceTime, Sports Card Live. Man, I've thought about this so much. You need $50,000 for a bankroll to get going. And when it comes to honesty and disclosure, Ty Wilson's pretty good. I feel like I would be identical. I have no interest to make massive profits and get rich. I would like to keep making money to keep the content going. And I'd like to make a little, I want to buy a steak. And, I'm not greedy. I would be the best person for it.
His production costs have to be really high too. Like it's TV level production. So there's a crew there. That's not.
That's what I find a little
with an iPhone.
I find that so he's been caught of so many times, like on the disingenuous part. Like, yeah. So that's when I said I could do it better. I feel like I could do it maybe more raw and real. Like, he has he's been caught a couple times with the.
I mean, it takes a month or more to edit one of those episodes. Even.
If we got the money to do it,
yeah,
I will challenge you that I can make it just as good off of my iPhone.
Oh, but I think though, Louis, that there's people with boom mics and that it's a real production. Like
one of the times he got caught, they saw the whole production crew on the side of the room. They weren't supposed
multiple people,
and it was hilarious because he's like a grassroots guy. Hey, come on, buddy! Like you're not. There's nothing.
It shows though. I mean, the production quality is great,
top tier.
It's awesome,
top tier. I just when guys take themselves that seriously, I struggle. I can't relate.
He's a little dry, but
serious. He's just like super serious guy. That's fine. They don't like. I know super serious guys don't like me either, so it's okay.
I just can't. I picture you with like a piece of a plate in each hand, saying this was invaluable, was it?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I have glue. Elmer's glue, and I'll call Josh. He'll pay for it.
Yeah. Can you imagine what the Gong Show would have to carry for insurance and umbrella policies and all that crap with Phil?
Phil, you have
Phil
to
rider.
Have blood test. Yeah,
they need a rider for Phil.
All right, Discord, Mad Dog Nav 78. Any thoughts on Young Gun Renewed and Series 2 being numbered like the original card from the base set versus Series 1 at its own unique numbering convention?
Love it. Good mistake.
Yeah, it was a total mistake, but
I agree with Louis. I like the mistake.
Okay. The only thing where I don't like is that as you start to really understand how these work is that you don't want it to be mistaken as being part of the base set. Because if it's got a base set numbering, then that technically it should be in the base set. You
Well,
can't
I
even
hope
be-
my Brady Kachuk high gloss renewed has a number, and then I'll be like, yeah, this is his real rookie card.
Right. I like it because it.
Oh, so
I
we just
like-
went on for 45 minutes about integrity in the hobby. And there you go.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Hmm.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Discord, JT Hockey, Ovi and Crosby have been some of the biggest hobby stars over the past 2 decades. What happens when they end up retiring in the near future? Do you think somebody already on those teams with some skill and love becomes the new hobby chase for those fans, or does it end up being a new young draft pick?
Go Protoss.
Well, we pretty much already figured Alexei Protas is going to break Ovechkin's goals record at some point, right? So you got to
Right.
load up now. I don't.
I don't know.
You
That's,
can't
maybe?
replace those. Those are generational
Mhm.
players.
Yeah, they're
And-
different, right? Like Connor McDavid's not replacing Crosby. They're completely different players.
I think how lucky it is to be a Penguins fan when you go from Lemieux to Sidney Crosby.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And Flower.
Yeah, true. Are on the same time. Facebook, Andrew Shee. Do you know any hockey players that collect? Who are the more prolific ones? Wish I knew.
I've
we
tried
know-
to find out. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not many. There's yeah.
We did learn Brian Trottier when he's signing at shows. We'll go look for like some Jean Beliveau cards or Gordie Howe's. He said that. So that's about the closest I've ever heard.
Really, eh?
Yeah, you were there.
I don't remember.
Shocking. Facebook, David today. Are the prices at the Toronto Expo comparable to eBay and other card sites? I've been trying to refrain from buying much online and saving for the Expo. Well, good luck with that. That never works out for me. I just want to make sure it's worth it. Louis, what do you think?
This is a perfect example of do as I say, not as I do. I would say war chest. Hold on to your money. Start making a list of what you want. See what things are going for on eBay or other sites. Verify the sale price in Terapeak, and then go on your excursion at the expo. There's always deals at the expo. People are willing to work.
Yeah.
If you find a couple cards from a guy, putting 2 cards together, you might save a little more.
Yeah.
So I would wait. If you can wait a month, do it.
That's part of the Expo is there's so many great cards that if somebody is unreasonable on a card you want, just find another card you like. It'd probably be a table down.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Facebook, Alec Muse. If you could have one current NHL player on the podcast, who would it be and why?
Oh, I like this question.
Go.
Oh, you want to go first? Oh.
Sure.
Shane Pinto for obvious
Oh,
reason.
God.
Yeah. Well, would you not want? Would he not be the best person to have for me? Of course he would. Yeah. Well, anyways.
Great.
I've been trying to get a backup player. So anyone who collects hockey, I feel like our hobby would be a bit awkward and cringy to non-collectors. So, like, if I'm a professional hockey player and all these guys are like, hey man, you want to come on my podcast? I have so many cards of you. And then you're like, how old are you? I'm like, oh, I'm 43. And you're like, I'm 25. And this guy's being weird. I don't want to ask. I if they're older and not playing, I get it, but or like Ovechkin or Crosby, but like I'd feel weird if Shane Pinto actually came on the show and I'd be like, hey man, I'm Phil. I have 400 of your cards. Like I'd feel like a weirdo. I'd feel like a cringy old weird guy.
Would you try to touch him?
No. See, you're making it worse. No, it's just, do you get what I'm saying? I don't know. We're dudes, they're dudes, and like I don't want to meet them. I don't want to.
Would that be your opening line? Hey, dude.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Hey, bro. Hey, bud.
Hey, bud.
Yeah.
If it was for you, I would love to have Austin Matthews on because
I wouldn't do it.
And then you might like him, and then it would to watch you squirm.
That's why I wouldn't do it because I wouldn't want to get along with
Austin Matthews. Would be amazing.
I would no. I can no.
Who would you pick, Louis?
I would love to sit and chat with Marc-Andre Fleury.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I threw another one in there. I think Marcus Foligno would be a heck of a guy to talk to. Also, I like.
Did you watch the Becoming Wild episode with him? And yeah, it was good.
Yep. Yeah, but could you imagine Fleury? Oh my God, just the stories he would tell, the pranks and this and that, and
Oh yeah.
so fun to talk to him.
We'd have to have Sylvain just in case he gets a little French on us.
Sure, bring him, bring
Is
everybody.
Sylvain really French? I don't know.
Yeah, he speaks beautiful French. Just Sylvain speaks very good French. Yeah.
Don't believe it.
Hmm.
Okay. I think I'd pick Crosby actually, because I would love
Yeah,
to get a little more insight into who he is as a person. Right? He's so
Yeah.
guarded. We could break him down, couldn't we?
Just get him a puff one. Everyone lets loose a little.
Okay. Instagram bent corners.
Oh.
Feet right or left when sleeving horizontals. Who feels
Yeah, I don't know
passionate
what
about this?
I have no idea what this means.
It means like which
What
way
side
do you put
in?
a horizontal card into a sleeve? They're
Oh, with the way
right feet
they're
first
standing, not
or
my
left feet
feet.
first?
Oh, okay.
No.
I would do it. So like that. Well, I don't have a horizontal card. I don't know.
I'm sure you have a horizontal card.
I do it all the same way. I do it all the same way.
What do you do, Louis?
Well, I'm left-handed. I don't know if that matters, but my cards go into the sleeve to the right, unless the writing on the back of the card is vertical. Then no
I
matter
go into the
which
left.
way it is.
Let's get
Okay.
vertical.
Yeah. So I go in the other way, and then depending on the writing on the back of the card, if it's vertical, then I just make sure that writing's up.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what Louis said. That's what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Instagram bolts on ice. I see a lot of people looking to sell their PC of players that were traded at the deadline. What advice would you give someone deciding whether or not to continue collecting a player traded from their favorite team?
I love this question.
All right, go for it. I have
Yeah.
no opinion on this. I just do what you want.
Oh, I do.
Okay.
So, bolts on ice. I've eaten this poop sandwich many times, brother. I don't have a solution for you. I thought I did, but I don't. Does anybody want to buy Mika Zibanejad or Robin Leonard cards? There's my answer for you. I don't have a solution. They're all in my basement. Here's a solution. Stop. Limit the players. So I picked Brady Tkachuk and Jake Sanderson in my modern era. All the jokes aside, they're not getting traded anytime soon. The majority of their careers is going to be on this ends, and that's why I limited that. My entire life, I have a plethora of ex-senators, and it took me about 15, 20 years to realize to stop doing that. So my best advice is limit your player collects. Pick the people that you think will have, check their contracts. Go to spottrack.com. I forget what it is. Go check the contracts and pick your players, and you'll have more money for better cards if you limit your pile. That sounded fun.
Mhm.
Limit your
Okay.
pile.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anything to add, Louis?
Well, you want me to read all this? So, I wrote, to answer your question, what's the reason you started collecting this player from the beginning? Is it the player on your team, the player himself? I've had to deal with this not because of a trade, but because of a team relocation.
Mm.
And, it's hard to collect a player with a different team, but I still love the player, even though he left. Now I do try to still collect specific, we'll just say Madonna cards. I like to get what I can out of the North Star stuff, but
Yeah.
in your case, let's just say it's your guy. I'd still chase the player, what team he was on before he was
I'm gonna
traded.
guess Tampa Bay. Just a guess. I don't know.
Okay. Instagram. Tanner Roquette has 2 questions. First one, he says Beckett or PSA?
PSA.
PSA.
Best things to invest in long term and short term.
Gold and
Louis?
silver. Gold and
Ah.
silver. And
Bill.
goalies.
In order: your health, precious metals, and real estate. Bonus tip: not sports cards.
I just put cards you love, man.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, there you go.
Aw.
Hmm.
Instagram. Dave Puglicitive. How do I say
Dave
this?
Puglicitive.
Mhm.
It's not. Sorry, Dave. He has 2 questions. Dave P. What do you feel most? What do you feel are most sought after cup autos after the True RPA? I would say limited logos.
Yeah,
Probably the
ditto.
most.
I would agree.
Is this the new normal for OV card prices, or do you think they will come down after the chase? I think to a degree they'll come down, but the floor has been raised. That's the way I would put it.
Ooh, that's a good answer. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I said up now, then it'll keep up for a while, then level back down, but not to what the old average was.
Louis and Josh, same answer, different words.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm right in the middle of both.
Mine
of
was
them.
about 3
Like a
words.
sandwich.
Louis was about 82. But yeah, same.
Yeah.
Instagram Zedded. What are your best card pulls? Also, do you know that Phil pulled the Bedard rookie? You did?
I did.
When? Louis?
I don't know.
Me.
It's in Toronto, not being paid for. I don't know.
Mhm.
Must not be that great.
Yeah.
Louis, what was your best pull?
I don't know. I'm sure it was a young gun, but it must
You
not
had
have been
that
that
great
good. No, nothing. Maybe a Sorokin young gun. I don't buy a lot of stuff though. So
No, you're not a big wax attack guy. Phil, what was your best pull? Is it the Bedard?
Yeah, the Bedard, and before that would be my Lindros all-time future watch.
Oh, that's a
Ooh.
great card. Yeah.
Yeah.
You kept that, right? Or did you sell it?
No, I sold it right away on eBay. I got 1,100 for it, and then they're for sale for like 800-900. It's great. Yeah.
Okay, great.
That card got paid for though.
I pulled the McDavid patch auto from Artifacts and then a big Bedard redemption. Sold both those.
So that the XX Bedard.
Yeah.
What did you get for that XX Bedard? What was that? I thought that'd be
A couple thousand.
No kidding. Are you serious?
Mhm.
That card's not even worth $100, man. I don't know.
Mhm.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Instagram, all these cards has 2 questions too. Who's better long term, Crosby or Ovechkin?
Unfair question. Next question.
Why? Because you don't want to know you don't want to give the
Long
real
term,
answer.
I think Crosby. Yeah, he's got more longevity than Ovi. You can only step on the gas so much there, Ovi.
Controversy.
Who cares?
I
Let him-
agree.
is-
I think Ovi does. I mean,
It-
it's close. It's both are going to have great.
I just think Ovi still had this little edge. Always just a tiny little edge, and I just think it'll stay that way.
It's his
Mhm.
personality. He has a more perceived hunger for the game, but I think the hunger is the same.
Okay. Second question. 1980s Tops and O-Pee-Chee. Which has higher print runs and why does O-Pee-Chee carry more value? O-Pee-Chee is more valuable than Tops because of the strength of the hobby market in Canada. I mean, that's really what it comes down to, and is regarded as the primary set for Canadian collectors. And the fact that O-Pee-Chee has higher print runs than Tops only, reinforces that
Yeah.
it's just the preferred, because it's sort of counterintuitive in that regard.
Mm.
I like both. For the record, Aldi's cards. I like both. They're both great, beautiful pieces of history and unique to each other.
Yeah, I think we even got a song about it.
We might. Discord, the sports card journey. With the EX 2000 release, I was wondering if there's any other sets you'd love to see that hockey never got the benefit of. For me, it'd be Fleer Brilliance set.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't. I don't have I don't follow the other sports, so this was a tough one. But and this is kind of the tired, cliched hockey response. But if hockey had some version of like Color Blast or Kaboom, that I'm sure those would be a big deal in our hobby as well.
I tried to sell Billy on Kapow, and he's like, "No." I'm like,
Kaplooey?
Kaplooey, Kablowy,
Mm-hmm.
loud and in charge.
Phil,
Do
is
it.
there like a baseball brand or other type of card that you would have loved to see?
I don't know baseball anymore that much. I'm an 80s baseball collector, and I'm very limited in that. 86 Tops was my favorite year. The wood there, the paneling. 87, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So my gut reaction was, because I loved the Rated Rookie logo growing up.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And they did make Rated Rookie hockey cards. Like in the 2010, I think Donruss has a hockey set where it doesn't have the blue. It had its own kind of Rated Rookie
Oh, that's cool.
treatment. But yeah, so more of that. I would like. Louis, anything to add?
I wish they would make more of the Fleer credential provisions. I mean, I get it's cool that it's in like a short print, certain guys, but I think a bigger set of that would be awesome. I love those cards.
Okay. Discord, East Coast 76. He says, hey guys, last time I sold a card was in the late 80s to my 13-year-old buddy. It was a O-Pee-Chee Brett Hall rookie for $75. Awesome. Big price in the late 80s, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I realize now that selling cards I've fallen out of love with may be a great way to fund future card purchases. This guy sold one card. That's crazy. Can you give me a few pieces of advice on how to get into selling? Thanks, boys. Love the show. Well, thank
Hey,
you
it's
for
Dwayne. Dwayne won. Yeah, he's got a box. Dwayne, I didn't mail your box yet. By the time you hear this, I might have.
What give Dwayne your best advice, Phil?
Email me. No, we talk. Yes, Dwayne, don't make a habit of making profit, right? We have Sylvain on here once a month, and he shares a lot of stories of some lost decisions he made. As long as he makes better decisions, one more than the bad one. So I'm very open about this. I think sports cards are one of the worst asset classes in the world. So if you can find a fun, light way of not counting on a type of second income, and if you're having fun selling cards and trading cards, no, you said selling. So if you're having fun selling cards and making a little bit of profit to fund other cards, I think that's a great idea. But if you're selling cards and counting on that money to go on a vacation with your wife, bad idea. That's my answer.
Well, I think like Slap Sharks is a great auction to somebody that never sold because they're the experts, so you don't have to be it. Now you're going to pay a little bit, probably more, but then you don't have the learning curve, and you don't have to, if you want to learn about how to be the greatest eBay seller and dedicate the many hours and make all the mistakes in doing that, then sure, you can make probably a little bit higher percentage, but or take your cards to a local show and try to see if dealers are interested in buying them too, would be another option, I would think. Louis, anything to add?
No, nothing.
Instagram SD hockey cards. Why are Be a Player autos so cheap? Not even looking at the 2000 sticker autos, but the mid 90s on card autos are priced very low and seem like a steal. I don't know a lot about Be a Player, so I have a heart.
They're not. So cards are subjective. I have not seen more people than not like the design of those cards.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but SD must like them. What a great opportunity for you to pick up some cheap cards that you like.
There you go.
Yeah. Nailed it. Yep.
Last question. Discord Rally SC. Is there a chance the 24-25 rookie crop eclipses the 23-24 group? I think there's a chance, but where I would caution everyone is we're seeing more and more that this whole sophomore slump is a real deal. So let's wait until the Celebrinis and Mitchkovs this time next year and see if they're slumping or not. Then we'll have a better read. What do you guys think on this question?
I think you answered it very well, Joshua.
Thanks.
You're welcome, buddy.
Virtual high five.
Hey, bam! Picking your nose.
All right. Personal pickups. Phil, what do you got?
Zip, zada, nothing.
Louis,
Nothing?
saving the day here for personal pickups.
I am. Oh, you got nothing too, huh?
Yeah.
All right. First one, trying to complete this dang thing. 22-23 Parkhurst Champions Legend. I picked up a Lemieux, so getting
Base
closer
card.
to getting that done. Base card, yes.
Base
Beautiful
card.
base legend.
Yeah.
Base cards matter, buddy.
Attaboy.
And next one was a 17-18 O-Pee-Chee Platinum Royal Blue Cubes. Nico Hischier out of 99.
Blue cubes.
Blue cubes.
Do you think Billy played with blue cubes when he was a kid? So he's like, I want to name a card blue cubes.
Rubik's Cube.
A Rubik's
Couldn't say
Cube. No,
that.
he's like, wow, guys, we can't call it a Rubik's Cube. You know that. Why would I call it that?
And I didn't buy this one off of ComC because they wanted $120 for it. I paid $13.
Wow. Good for you.
But this was
like
a better
Costco.
picture.
ComC is like Costco. Most cards are a great price and what a steal, but once in a while you get hosed, right?
Right. And so I forgot to, I don't remember if I knew this before I put it on there last week, but a story about that Young Gun Renewed Hischier that I bought. So I offered the guy $1 or $2 less than what it was and put in card ladder sales of, what they'd sold for. And he said, "Hey, no problem. I hadn't looked at that in a while. So yeah, put your offer in again and I'll accept it." And I was like, "Cool, thanks." And then he made another comment and said, "Well, who collects Nico Hischier anyways?" And I go, "Some goofy guy from Minnesota." And he goes, "Yeah, I know who it is. Good job. I love the show."
Oh, wow.
He somehow tied two and two together.
Oh, you should have said you're from Switzerland.
Oh,
He's Swiss, right?
No,
Hold
that was
on.
pretty funny, though.
He's sure Swiss?
I think
Yep.
so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. I hope he is.
All right, good job, boys.
Ish.
Yeah.
Well, if you like the show,
Nope.
Louis, thumbs down. Justin, hold on. Let me say it. Someone always thumbs down our show. There's one person that Josh
One
is like, I'm
person.
going to find them. It's Louis, or it's Louis. That's awesome.
well, they go out of their way. If you like the episode, please leave a rating and review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen to us on, or leave a comment on YouTube. That'd be nice. If it's nice, it'd be great. But hey, tell us how you feel. If you love the show, you want to support us, and want to chat with us on the Hockey Cards Gongshow Discord server, do our scavenger hunt. Please consider a $5 US a month donation. Join on a $2.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description, both YouTube and podcast apps, on our Instagram, TikTok profiles, or on our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com. There's a become a patron link, or just go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, and search for us, Hockey Cards Gongshow. Boys, we're on social media. We're cool. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a production of Dollarbox Ventures, LLC. Have an amazing start to your week. Hopefully warm weather coming soon. And Louis, take us out, buddy.
Bye.
Yo, it's the Gong Show. We're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire. No holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go. Wanna say the minute show.